Hello, everyone, and welcome to FMK Anime. I'm your host, Meep, joined by my co-hosts, Gilly and Dalaron. Say hi, you two.
Hi, you two.
God damn it, Gilly. Hi, Dalaron here. If you're watching us live, you already know you are where you need to be. Thank you. If you're seeing the VOD or you're watching this on YouTube, come catch us on Mondays on twitch.tv/DalaronQuest. That's DALARON Quest. We do D&Ds on Tuesday, we do homebrew and character creation, video games, a whole bunch of stuff. I put out a voice reel. Check it out on my YouTube. Check it out on my Twitch pods. Share it, please!
Yes.
I can't hear from the left side of my face. Still. It's better, but it's
That
still
is
bad.
bad.
Catch
You
me
know-
on my depression speed run.
You know, the 5 stages of grief, you'll eventually get to acceptance at some point.
Jeez, fuck you, mate.
I say this to everyone. I say this to myself.
That's sad. You're sad.
Anyways, this is FMK Anime, where each week we watch up to 10 shows, or more if you hate yourself. I chose to watch more.
I didn't have time.
And at the end of the week, we can decide to kill one of the shows on our list and cut it, so we never have to watch it again. I wonder what's going to be this week. Or and we decide which shows live and which shows die via a fuck, marry, kill system, where we decide if we're going to put this nice, lovely, wet eggplant in it, or
Pre-lubricated eggplant.
or if we're going to stick that bloody knife in it with the blood of all the shows we've killed prior. And at the end of the season, we choose which shows we're going to marry.
So,
I married a show
really
last
quick.
season.
Really quick. Speaking of this lovely, juicy eggplants and this blood-coated knife that you guys can now see on our lovely banner, I just want to take a moment to shout out Death to Reality. That's Death to Reality, the 3 for the E in reality, for making us this banner. This was a delightful commission, and each episode you might see it change a little bit.
You should all go.
Yeah, commissions are currently open. You can follow her on Twitter at Death to Reality. Again, Death to Reality, that's a 3 where the E is in reality. This was really fun, and it was a great time working in just having this come to be in like a span of a week.
Yes.
But yeah, you married a show last week, me. Last
it
season.
was a really good show. Well, not last week, last season. Yeah.
Last season, yeah.
Then I got upset when that main character didn't make it onto the into the best of the main characters. Well, I didn't get upset. I got salty. You can't say that we all weren't salty at some point during that award.
Oh, I was hella fucking salty.
All of us were, I think.
The fact that Brawler didn't win best side character still upsets me to this day.
Spoilers, Dalaron.
I mean, why are you watching this? Go watch the previous season. Unless you're watching us live. Hi, Mom.
Is your mom actually watching?
No. No.
Yes. Good. I can still make my MILF jokes.
I don't talk about my mom that way, but also like she'll be like, "Why are you watching those Japanese cartoons?"
Well, I'm not talking about her that way. I can just make MILF jokes in general. I feel weird talking about MILF stuff when people a mother's age are around.
But you have no problem fetishizing lesbians.
It's not fetishization, they're cute.
I said what I said. Let's get on with the show.
Our first is Cells at Work, Code Black, Episode 2. Red Blood Cell finds himself in the mouth where some germs break in and he gets saved by the white blood cells. An older blood cell takes him and the rookies to the liver when the body begins consuming alcohol. However, Gramps passes away and is consumed by another cell.
Wait, hold on. What? This is Cells at Work, right?
Cells at Work, Code Black, yes.
Did we watch the same episode?
Did you not watch the episode where they are... Which episode did you watch?
Gonorrhea?
No, you watched
That's
episode 3 or 4.
3.
Well,
I think that's a de facto knife from Dalaran.
that's okay. Meep, explain what they did this week with the fucking Cells at Work Code Black release, because that got me fucked up.
I am sad because they actually had a nice little message that they showed at the end with people that work in the sex industry in Japan and the amount of shit they take from overworked employees. I'm sad now.
All right, so for some reason, for whatever fucking reason, Cells at Work Code Black released 3 episodes this past week. 1 episode on its regular release schedule, and then a two-parter on 3 and 4. And because of that, I guess I clicked the wrong video. I thought I didn't even see an option. I thought I was watching episode 2. It just went in sequence. I think I wasn't paying attention to my autoplay on. Well, okay, so I'm out for this conversation, guys. If you guys saw the same episode, you guys are welcome to it. But unfortunately,
So,
wardrobe malfunction, quote unquote.
yeah, I actually really liked this episode. It was really light and fluffy. The other two white blood cells sort of being a bit flirty with the red blood cell was fun. It was like, oh man, if you weren't super scrawny, but you'd actually be really hot. Then there's the older white blood cell that's she's fun. She's a fun presence to have on screen. I like her. She They consume the germs that they kill, which white blood cells in overworked bodies do. And actually, actually like your theory from last week, Gilly, that because there are less white blood cells, the ones that are there have to be stronger, and that's why these ones are so tough. I actually like that theory.
Hmm.
What are you talking about? I never said that.
What? Then who said that last week?
I don't know, but I didn't say that.
Well,
I
whoever
said
said
very
that.
little about this show at all last week.
Was that me? Did I say that?
Well, whoever
I
said
know.
it, head pats to them. Good job.
I know it was a response to Dal saying, "Yeah, it's weird how these white blood cells are so strong." I know someone said that as a response. I guess it was me. Uh, yeah. Then uh so in the anime there's a little sprinkler system that goes through the hallways, which you actually saw in the first Cells at Work. And these sprinkler systems release alcohol when the body drinks alcohol, which is interesting. And the cells start getting drunk, so they have to go to the liver to get cleaned out, where they drink the I can't remember the name of it, but the chemical that breaks down the alcohol, and in doing so, the cells get very angry, and you actually see some of them being kind of mean and rude to the. Uh, so each cell that goes to the liver, which is basically it's a hostess club. It's a hostess club. And each cell gets a hostess with them. Uh, it was an old man cell that brought them down here. And you see the cells when they drink the chemical that breaks down the alcohol, they get very, very negative, and some of them you see lash out towards the hostesses, and even the main cell does, our main character. And he feels really bad afterwards, and Gramp takes him to the back to show him that the red blood cells, or not the red blood cells, the hostesses are just as dead on the inside as they are, and that, you know, even though they're not out risking their lives, you shouldn't be terrible to them. And I thought that was a really nice message about the sex work industry in Japan, because, sex workers in Japan, they have to deal with a lot of shitty people.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult industry that only at this day is still like fighting for its validity, even though it's people refer to it as its oldest profession. Sex work is work. It's a service provided, and there are ways to do it right, and then there's ways to do it not so right. There's like with anything, you can do it like really well. There's like ways to make an industry ethical, safe, wholesome, but otherwise, yeah.
What did you think of this episode, Gilly?
For the issue that since Dalaran didn't watch the right episode comes in.
I'm an idiot because
I have so very little to say about this show.
I,
Well,
I feel like a complete idiot because now that you're talking about the liver, I'm like, right, that was the ending of that was the after credits, like the little preview of the first episode, and I guess it just speaks to how stressed I've been this week that I completely forgot that. So when we just started what I assume is now episode 3 question mark, it just what
that is a fair point. I just got a DM from someone. Come on, Dalaron, you watched the fan opening.
fucking hell, son of a bitch. Why you DMing why are you DMing my co-host? Jump into chat like a true person, you coward.
It's funny because when you watched the fan opening, it happened on the second episode of last season. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen each season now. Gotta keep the trend going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we could do here, since Gilly, you said you didn't have much to talk about, and I don't want to just be sitting here talking to myself. We can revisit this episode next time, but for now, we can give me and Gilly can give our votes. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, by all means. I mean, I I will say this from the episode I did watch. I was going to fuck this show, and I like what you said. If it has to be an automatic knife, it's an automatic knife. I do think the show totes the line of becoming like Attack on Titan levels of edgy. Um, but it's still good. And hey, Kermit21, thank you for the bits. Thank you. But whatever my vote is, it is whatever it is. What I did watch, I'll get into next week. But yeah, that's take it away, Meep. What do you think of this episode? I mean, like,
I'm
what
gonna
is your
fuck
vote?
this. I'm gonna fuck this episode. I'm okay with it being a de facto knife for comedy's sake because I don't think this show is gonna die this week, considering the events of last week. So, uh, yeah, it was a nice episode. Had a really nice message about the sex work, and it doesn't like it's obvious, but it doesn't like have have like a narrator go much like the sex work industry. Like in it, it's obvious metaphors, but I like shows that do things with metaphor. There's another show this season that does a lot of things with metaphor. We'll get to that later, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed this show. Yeah, this show's gonna get the fuck from me. Gilly?
What about you, Gills?
First of all, I didn't get a single metaphor in this show whatsoever. So there's that. But second of all, the I just don't like having constant scientific terms thrown at me over and over and over.
That's fair.
Like I have to kill the show. I'm not having a good time.
Hmm, that's fair. It's not
I
for
can't
everyone.
like I cannot see past like the constant scientific terms and the feeling like I'm trying what like the main focus is an educational show, which I don't have interest in.
I think this might be the to my benefit because I biology was my favorite class in high school, and I did watch the original for high school, so that might be like I because that's a spin-off. It's weird. We might be a conversation about spin-offs going forward in the future.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, fair. I do remember last week on episode 1, we were definitely talking about how the like original Cells at Work at least had like little excerpts where they kind of went into stuff, but here in Black they kind of just throw shit at you. And when
Well,
Gilly brought that up,
they still go into stuff in this, but it's stuff they didn't cover previously in the previous show. Like they this entire episode, you missed it, Alran, but they did go into extreme detail about like alcohol, the different chemical compounds, and how they detoxify. I just don't like that.
I just really enjoy the metaphor. Though that's also to the benefit of me knowing a lot more about Japan than I really should as a white Canadian male. I played Yakuza. I know what the sex industry is like there.
Shut up.
Base all my notions about Japan from Yakuza. Is every Yakuza guy able to take a bullet to the head and live?
Are there really clubs of men wearing diaper? I mean, there really are, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh god.
That's not even
But
just a Japanese thing. Again, not talking about that anymore.
well, that is one knife and one fuck for Cells at Work Code Black episode 2.
Technically,
One
two
defacto.
knives if we're defaulting to me auto knifing because of the fuck up.
I was gonna say one de facto knife, but it's just for fun's sake. I don't think the show will actually die because of it. That's why I'm okay with it.
We have something coming up, sure, but like at the same point, because of the scheduling fuck up, this does technically put Cells at Work Code Black on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm. But a next show that's most likely gonna die, Jujutsu Kaisen episode 14. I'm kidding. That this show, something wrong has happened if it does. Gojo brings Itadori to the group as he gets introduced to the Kyoto students and reunited with his friends. However, the Kyoto principal tells the students that they have to kill Itadori. The students get ready for their curse extermination race. I missed this show so much. So, first things first, let's start with the opening. What a fucking opening! Oh, hello?
Yeah, no. I'm sitting here nodding because I really missed the show too.
Yeah,
I like the opening. I'm not as big on the song, but the visuals are a lot more.
oh yeah. I actually like both the song and the visuals, but the visuals are nice. Only complaint is that it seems like it spoils a bit for
Yeah,
what might.
Yep.
I was thinking this like, so with our first intro, the only spoilers we got were really for characters. This one is actually showing what looks like arc plot points.
Yeah, it
So
showed a
that's a
lot.
little, but that's a very classic shonen thing to do, so I'm
No,
not upset about it. It's just
see, I disagree with that because it's not like that's my problem. Like this phenomenon of like openings just telling you exactly what's going to happen this season is relatively new. Like even back in the day, our shonen openings were unique, original content to kind of show you what the world is and what you're in store for, and then people
I don't
just
know,
stopped fucking trying in anime.
the shows
It
I've
was
been watching have been doing this for like well over a decade.
yeah,
Nah, like think
yeah.
about it. Code
Naruto and Bleach
Geass,
started.
Naruto, Bleach, they all had things that like would tell you what's going to happen, but it never showed it to you. It never spoiled it.
Well, this isn't really showing you exactly what's going to happen. We just
We saw
know
fucking
Hana-
Panda transform, and we saw a bunch of fights. We know who we're going to see fight this season.
Was he transforming? I just saw him going monkey on the roof.
Seeing Panda was amazing though. Not gonna lie.
I am infinitely more interested in him because I did see he had tusks. I did see that.
He's a weird
Panda
Panda.
go Panda is a shifter.
This is going to be a terrible cut. It's going to look awful, but I'm going to post it anyway.
But I am not as strong on the opening as I was last season. I am I was actually I was like really worried for the new ending. I really enjoyed this ending. Like where
For what it is, it's good. The reason I loved the ending of the first part, the reason I loved it so much is it was so different than what I'm used to in anime, and they kind of transitioned back into a what feels like stereotypical anime ending of just like slow, almost sad sounding music.
But it was really because it wasn't sad events that was happening because it was for chat it was Itadori taking a video on his phone of all of him and his friends hanging out at a beach in what looked to be winter. Like it was winter in that, right?
Yeah, it was winter, or at least like
Okay, so
late autumn, early spring.
Gilly, correct me if
It
I'm
seemed like
wrong.
there
They're
was.
playing.
It seems like there was transitionary periods in the actual stuff where it would go from one season to the next.
Fair, but uh, remind me if I'm wrong, Gilly. The in season one they said they're gonna try and trap, or they said they're gonna try and seal Gojo on October 31st, right? That's the date.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because if it's winter in that ending, that would have to be after that. Oh, it's just interesting. It's interesting to me, but obviously, I don't think the ending is spoiling anything. At least not nearly as much as the opening did.
So I have mixed feelings on the ending, and they're actually mixed feelings. It's not because there's some things I do like and there's some things I don't. It's like I really love the ending. I think the new ending is lovely and it's delightfully soft. And it's like you said, it's this great fucking scene of just all the characters together hanging out in like this late autumn or like early winter kind of Japanese scene by the beach or by like a river, and there's this it just keeps growing and gets warmer and warmer, and it shows like, and then they include Itadori at the end, who's obviously the one filming it, which you realize I realized like 1/3 into the way, and it's like, oh, where's Itadori? Oh, he's the one holding the camera. And it's great. I love it. The song is really soft. There is this like level of melancholy to it. I wouldn't call it sadness, but it's just a fucking shame that it did the character moments of Itadori coming back into the show better than the actual fucking episode.
I disagree. it I love how the show handled it. It is purely in line with how the show does things and in line with the characters. Because the second years don't fucking know them. Don't like the thing with Fushiguro is we haven't seen Fushiguro have much emotional reaction to anyone, and even then, he still had a nice scene after where he's like, "Hey, Itadori, what's wrong? No, something's obviously wrong. Something happened. What happened?" And it was a really nice character moment, and I actually loved the way they brought him back because they straight from the manga put him in a funeral frame as a punishment for not telling them he was alive.
So, the scene of Itadori's reunion was great in its own way. I thought it was hilarious. I literally laughed out loud. There were so many images I took, like reaction images, stills. This was Jujutsu Kaisen's humor, like at 100%. However, if you recall last season when we were talking about the first half of the Jujutsu Kaisen season, I'm like, man, they are setting up his returns, and like this is going to be such an emotional payoff, and they're really showing that his death has gravity, and I'm very interested to see how they make him because it's probably going to be really dramatic. This is a disappointment for me. It was great. I thought it was funny, but this is like subversion of expectations for a haha joke, and I'm not laughing.
Wait, you just said you laughed out loud though.
I thought it was okay. God damn it! Fuck. All right. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not happy with how they did
Your
it.
own game.
Yep. Okay. Meep wins this FMK.
Yay! Speaking of winning the FMK, who got confirmed to be dead this episode?
He's not dead. He said if he just killed him, he would have probably gotten Sukuna out, but he transformed him, so now he's a fucking monster.
Which transfiguration killed him.
Did it kill him?
Yes, it did. It gave Junpei a heart attack.
Oh, fuck.
Mahito even says his transfigurations kill people, but a bit of their mind stays intact.
But then if their mind works, they're not fucking dead.
It's the whole thing of, oh, your brain is working, but your heart stopped. You're already dead. Fist of the North Star style. But wait, was it this episode that? Okay, am I thinking of last season where Itadori went to see his grandfather's grave? Did Itadori go to Junpei's grave this season, or no?
I think there was a grave. I thought it was his grandpa's grave. We had a few graves this week in our shows.
Yeah, I think because I think Itadori went to Junpei's grave, because even when Itadori was talking to Fushiguro about, didn't tell him what happened, but said like, everything's fine, but I swear I'm not going to lose again. Like,
that was a good scene. That was a good scene. It's just, I really enjoyed the humor. I really did, but I really wanted an emotional payoff. They were building up this relationship between them and how people miss him and how they remember him, and how seeing Nobara like tear up while like keeping her tears.
That was probably the best part about that was the actual emotiveness from her in this, because she was like very upset but holding that mostly back.
Which fits her character, and I agree with you, Meep. Like, Fushiguro is much more reserved, and that little scene at the end being like, hey, what happened? And he's like, no, I'm fine. He's like, no, what happened? And Fushiguro believes in his boy in that scene when they're like making their plan. They're like, if everyone here, including both schools, attacked Itadori without using curse energy, Itadori will probably win. I thought that was really good. I wanted a bigger emotional payoff. That's all. It's all it comes down to. I'm upset.
How much do you want to bet Fushiguro had an inkling that Itadori may have still been alive?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because I actually think he may have, already been thinking, nah, there's no way Itadori would go down that quick. Because I remember he said to Sukuna, hey, no, he's going to come back. But that might just be me overreading into things. The scene after I also loved with Maki going, can I have my fucking sword back? And then you just cut to Itadori thinking about that, Gojo has it.
The humor in this show is incredible. Of that there is no doubt. I think, yeah, it's the best. I absolutely adore the humor in the show. And like, don't get me wrong, while this is not the reunion I imagined, it was still amazing. And fucking Gojo, man. Fucking Gojo is such a troll in this episode. He fucks with everyone. Literally, every person he is in the scene with, he fucks with. He fucks with Itadori, he fucks with Nanami, he fucks with the principal of Kyoto, he fucks with the principal of Tokyo, he fucks with the leader, like the head, the sensei Kyoshi girl.
Stargirl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gojo fucks with every single person here, and there's still that great line. It's like, huh? Why are you upset? I'm not upset. Oh, yeah. No, of course not. I haven't even done anything. Why would you be? And just this piece of shit. I love him.
He's got pure trickster god energy.
He gives me Dante energy, yeah.
But I want to bring this up very briefly. Fucking Toto.
Toto is great.
Charges out of the planning meeting because he has to go watch his favorite idol, and he's told like, just record it and watch it later. What do you think I am? I'm gonna see it live and record it and watch it later. That's the kind of man I am.
Yeah, and that's the Jujutsu stroll too.
Yeah.
Man's got a little bit of an issue, little bit of an obsession with this idol, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I think it's so funny. I think it's such a great way to subvert his character. It's funny,
but it is like so weird.
Yeah.
I'm fully expecting when he meets Itadori, like, Itadori, this question will determine whether what action I'll take. What type of woman are you into?
Oh, they're gonna be bows. They're gonna be bros, my dude.
I am fully expecting as soon as he like says that, Toto's gonna go, all right, you're worthy to live. or maybe it'll be during the fight that they're showing in the opening, just They're just sitting there fighting the character they show in the opening. Itadori, what type of woman are you into? Itadori says it. All right,
Jennifer
leave. I
Lawrence.
got this.
Jennifer Lawrence. We know the answer already. We've been given the answer in season, like, I think episode 2 or episode 3.
I am happy that Miwa doesn't want to kill Itadori.
I like Miwa. She. Also, speaking of, like, let's talk about the side characters. What do we think about the rest of Kyoto? The little blonde girl is interesting? Question mark. She's like a little witch.
What her deal is? She's dressed up like a witch. She had a little broom. I want to know what the fuck she does.
Yeah. She reminds me of the one like lolly visored from Bleach.
Oh. No. Like, she's cute, but her attitude is much more, look, why are we making things complicated?
Yeah, I mean look wise. Like, we haven't gotten to see much of her attitudes.
Speaking
I enjoyed
of
the rest of the Kyoto people.
Yeah. Robot, what the fuck's up with the robot dude?
Oh, the Warforged?
He's literally a Warforged. He's literally called like Automaton or something.
I'm happy Helton got a job in Jujutsu Kaisen.
I was pulling up the wiki to try and find his name. For some reason, I'm actually having trouble finding his name.
He might be a throwaway character then.
No, I'll look it up right now.
Because he's actually not popping up on the... That's confusing. It was something... It was fucking ridiculous. I know that. The name was absurd. It was like Mechana something.
Yeah. Hold on, if I look up his cast, I might find it.
Yeah, no, now they're going on a...
Mekamaru.
Oh god.
Mekamaru, yeah.
And
oh,
well,
no, it's not just Mekamaru, it's Ultimate Mekamaru.
Yes, Ultimate. It's so stupid.
You know,
I love it.
How strong do you think the principal of Kyoto is?
He's probably strong. He's not like Gendo Ikari, not Gendo Ikari. He's not like head captain Yamamoto of Gendo Yamamoto of like Bleach strong, but I get the feeling he's not full of himself for no reason.
Do you think Jogo might kill him? I think Jogo might kill him.
I hope. Speaking of Jogo,
he's mostly regenerated.
That was a very interesting opening scene.
It was interesting, but it was also one of those like, hey, this is a 5-minute scene to catch you up what happened last core. But you know what? They could have done what My Hero Academia does and use a full episode. So you know what? I'm happy.
It was very interesting to see all these guys just chilling in a hot spring.
And fucking Mahito just goes on full buck naked. We get like a fucking direct undershot of his ass as he just jumps into the hot spring.
I'm surprised they didn't have a moment in that. Like, I know they mentioned, this hot springs is so secluded. I'm surprised they didn't have a moment where, like, a young couple comes across them, and then the young couple gets fucking obliterated. I'm surprised because that would have seemed in line with the show. But I'm not complaining.
Because they've already done that with the diner scene, with the restaurant scene, and that would not have, while visually interesting, that would not have served the purpose of the scene. The purpose of the scene was to set up that the villains are back, the villains are fine, and that we are not out of the woodwork. Like, I really enjoyed, like, I thought it was a great intro scene for the start of a half season, because even for me, who, like, I'm mad that both Jogo and Mahito survived. Like, where's the consequences to them getting their shit stopped? I still enjoyed how they introduced they continued the villain's plan. They paid honor to, like, what happened the first half of the season, and they introduced what they're going to be doing for the rest of the story to come, and I thought it was really well done. Plus, we now have this reaction image of very smug Jogo smoking a lava brain pipe.
Also, I disagree that there's a consequence. Mahito's consequence. He got stronger. It's like, it's like the Zenkai boost. Jogo's consequence. Jogo is probably more humbled, at least when it comes to Gojo.
Oh, and one thing I want to bring up. They brought up they brought up the character from like the prequel series,
Huh?
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen came
Yuta.
out.
The second years at Jujutsu Tech talked about the last year's competition and Yuta, and that's like the chapter 0 thing, like the prequel.
Yeah. The guy who fought Kyoto because it wouldn't have been fair if he had any teammates. Which, fucking interesting.
Flex on them haters, I guess.
Like
Listen,
that's all I know though. I refuse to actually look into it because I think they're going to use it as a technically as a filler arc, but it's going to be a legitimate thing. All I
Okay.
know is the character's name, and that's the only thing I know because I refuse to look up anything else.
They
yeah,
keep mentioning him, but that is a shonen thing
Because
to do.
from what I understand, it's a legitimate chapter. It's supposed to be really good, and it actually fills in a lot of stuff for the second years apparently that we see
it's
now. So I'm fairly certain they're going to do it at some point, and I'm excited
it's
for it.
it's a volume, 4 chapters spanning 160 pages. So it's actually the length of a light novel, which is
It
going to
could
be interesting.
also if they don't do it as like a little filler thing, they might just do it as
A
possibly a little
movie.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
It's it's interesting because the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen, I think he wrote that before he actually started on the official manga, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain. But
well, I will say right now the chapter 0 is only recently getting like English release.
ah, so I might. Well,
Adaptation, the localization to anime would be different. It's if the chapter is only now getting an English localization, that's probably because Jujutsu Kaisen has been so popular in its first season, first half season, whatever. Speaking of the Jujutsu Stroll we were talking about earlier, though, I not the funniest Jujutsu Stroll, but I genuinely want to try goatfish sushi. Like, I gotta try it now because apparently it's so good. Also, uh, Ocean Pacific Peace. Oh, PP!
yeah, this episode was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the Juju stroll, like where the idol is totally drunk.
Totally not
It was
drunk,
fun.
you mean? Yeah? She's not
Yeah.
drunk.
Are you ready for cards? I'm ready for cards.
No, chat. I don't want to try fruits. Actually, you know what? I can't. That's a lie. There is a roll that I really enjoy. It's like tuna, crab, and mango, avocado, and cucumber. It's like really good. It's a good combination.
Yeah, mango rolls are actually really good. You ever had a banana roll?
Ooh, dessert rolls when people like they get really creative with it, like green tea, like green tea souffle or green tea crisps with like mango and banana, like a little bit of chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had. That's one of my favorite things at a place really cheap place I go to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not quality, but it tastes good because they cover it in shit.
uh, Meep, hold up your card.
I this show. It was my wife. It was my husband last season. And the relationship's going strong. We might end up renewing our vows at the end. Who knows? Honeymoon phase.
All right, Gilly, you want to go, or is it my turn?
See, I just absolutely hate I I'm I I'm gonna preface this before I say anything else. I'm going to fuck this show because it's still good. I personally, this was for me. I l- I love the show. I'm fucking this episode, but for for this being like the episode we come back on, being the reunion, it did feel really weak. It was still good, but it felt really weak in comparison to what we've been going through, and that upset me a little bit.
I Yeah, I get where Gilly's coming from.
I still liked it, but they've done so much like good, strong stuff. I feel like they could have really done this a lot better. But otherwise, though, it was still fun. It was still good. I am very I'm excited for this next episode a lot because I want to see how this is gonna go. This is really
Yeah,
I'm so it. I hate making this comparison. I really do. But it's reminding me of the fucking a little just only a little bit of the tuning exams, but the actual good parts of the tuning exams.
Yeah, the Chunin exams were like simultaneously some of the strongest and weakest parts of Naruto.
Yeah,
Though
there were
I
some
think,
really good episodes, and then there was garbage.
yeah, yeah, there are some. Actually, I think Chunin exams is one of the strongest arcs in Naruto, but it also
It
has
is.
a number of really bad episodes in it.
Yeah. It had a lot of character growth, it had a lot of good moments, and then it had a lot of, oh, why are you doing this?
Yeah, we probably had the best
listen,
Sakura we would have the whole show.
the
Fucking
the
the
versus
Choji
Mahito arc,
fight.
the versus Mahito arc is the best arc of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the only arc we have fully concluded out, but it's the best arc.
No, we have the intro arc, which did they showed us characters.
All right, boys. I'm gonna
Can
hold
you
up my card.
consider that an arc?
I'm gonna hold up my
It
card.
technically is.
So I also am gonna fuck this show. I'm really glad the show's back, though. I'm with Gilly. This is not how I expected this episode to go. Uh, from the curses in the beginning to like the sheer amount of slapstick and humor, like pretty much around everything, I was left in a little bit of shock. Again, I liked the intro scene. I think it was a really good way to kind of start the episode off again. We start off with our bad guys, which are characters. They're not just villains. They're characters. They have personalities to them, and it's interesting to see them interact. Um, but like, this next episode's going to be really important for me because I didn't get my emotional payoff. Even though the ending is like super soft and lovely, and like it makes up for the lack of character moments we didn't have this episode, but everyone ganking Itadori is kind of meh, and I really wanted a bigger emotional payoff for Itadori's return. It still feels like kind of a big letdown. That being said, I really enjoyed it. I was laughing a lot more than I expected, and I'm curious to see where this arc goes.
I uh I actually think there's a lot of opportunity with the entire Kyoto school wanting to like all gang up against Itadori because I think there's a lot of opportunity to for that emotion to like make itself more present with them trying to stop Itadori from being murdered.
Yeah,
I think I think there's opportunity for it. I don't know if they'll actually do anything with it, but there is
Also,
opportunity.
it's just such a
also you have to
fucking card to burn off the bat, you know? Like,
you. It's also a thing of you have to remember second years didn't know him, and everyone else who would have had an emotional reaction knew he was alive, like
no,
Gojo and
no, they didn't.
Principal.
Because when they were sitting.
Gojo knew.
No, oh,
Gojo
sure.
fucking knew. What
Sorry, I
do
thought you
you
meant.
mean?
Sorry, I thought you meant the second years of Tokyo. But like the last episode of season one, or the first half of the season, ends with them sitting around the hot pot with Itadori's meatballs, the recipe he passed on, and everyone was like having this really somber moment. They thought he was dead.
That's all. That's also a Jujutsu stroll, which unfortunately aren't canon. I learned. I'd fully believe they were though.
Whatever. I said what I said.
It's just it's hard to have like this super emotional reaction where everyone be crying, like what Gojo is explaining to Itadori, where they're all crying, they're all crowding around him. When honestly, what happened is more in line with the characters. Nobara was bound to be pissed, and Fushiguro is reserved. Like he's a very reserved character. We don't see him show emotion very much. It oh, I
I
just
mean,
felt it was very in line with the show.
I guess we'll just wait and see, right? Well, that's all we can do.
it felt like a subversion of expectations just for sheer shock factor.
Again, the humor was great. I wanted something. I wanted to feel something, not to laugh in this case.
Aren't you don't judge the show on the basis of what it didn't do?
No, because it was setting up an emotional payoff. I've been talking about an emotional payoff for, ever since Itadori died, and then came back. Right, like this has been a constant thing. Again, like I'm not killing the show. I'm still fucking it. I enjoyed it, but at the end of the day, I would be remiss to just pretend like, oh, because it was so funny, it's totally fine. Like, no, I wanted something and I didn't get it, and the show can be argued that it was inkling toward it, but I've said enough on the topic. I think people understand my thoughts on it, and if not, jump into chat, jump into comments. I'll be happy to talk there.
Can't wait to send my angry DM to Dalaran later. Anyway.
Jujutsu Kaisen is actually brilliant, and if you can't understand the humor as part of the intelligence of the show, then no.
You have to have an IQ of blank to watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, it's just
Anyway.
X. It's just X. Tap X mana.
Our next show is Skate to Infinity, episode 2.
The Infinity.
Yeah. Reiki teaches Lagna more about skating and takes him to his home, where he says he will make Lagna aboard. Lagna tells Reiki about his dad's passing, as all the skate fans talk him up, and a Catboy challenges him to a beef. So we have confirmation the Catboy serum has been completed in this universe.
This was so good.
Yeah.
It instills a primal feeling in me. He's so pretty.
Yo,
He's so
fucking
pretty.
Who?
So Catboy.
Catboy.
Oh.
Also, Catboy not fucking around. Catboy skilled. Like the scene we have with him, was fucking, trap Catboy's hard fucking core. Like when he did that fucking kick up on the board to grab a fucking baseball, that was nuts.
Twink Catboy. Need twink.
Does it count? If you're a Catboy, you pretty much are a twink. It seems redundant, right?
I would prefer to talk about Shadow.
He's just this lovable giant when he's not in Skate, and I'm assuming all of his. So this is what I want to mention when it comes to Shadow. As someone that works in retail, having to put on this face when you deal with enough shitty customers, it makes you want to go. It makes you want to go postal, and I think he found a good outlet for him. Good on him.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. But the reality is that he's a fucking florist. He owns a flower shop when he's not at Skate.
I don't even think it's fully just fully just putting on a face, because he seemed very genuinely happy to help this old woman pick out some flowers, and it was such a cute image, and he was just, it's so great. He is the polar opposite, and I love it.
I love Shadow.
I was fully expecting this. Is that why he wears the clown makeup at Skate? So no one that would shop at his shop recognizes him?
Probably.
I think everyone else kind of knows who each other is, but I think Shadow's the only one that nobody knows who he really is.
Yeah, I think Shadow.
That's very intentional.
I think Shadow and not Dio are totally not Dio are the only two people who kind of keep their personalities secret in Skate.
Oh, and fucking the dynamic. Okay, so
Joe and Sakura.
More characters. Yeah, Joe and Sakura's dynamic is so much fun.
Of course, the beefcake and the skinny pretty boy have beef with each other. Of course, they don't get along.
Look, they're both hot in different ways, but they don't get along because one is all about feeling it, just going through the motions, and the other one's technology, thinking through things, and it's beautiful. I love it.
This show, and this is something I talked about,
explored so much
more. 100%.
Because if it goes well, I already have to start thinking about it. Because I already love them, and I want so much more.
like I said last week, this show does something that I'm really excited about. This show, I'll get to it in my final thoughts, but like what we're talking about right now, characters. I love character-driven stories. I love well-written and well-expressed characters, and we have that in spades this episode. Even from like the opening scene, like the introductory scene, how like it kind of did this nice little pseudo recap between Reiki and Langa. It was like visually funny, and it just shows energy, and you really get a sense for every character on the screen, whether it be their skate persona or their real life persona. And you kind of see how, like, even now we immediately start talking about like Shadow. How is he in his life, and how does that relate to his skate life? Joe and Sakura. Like, I love this. I'm really looking forward to continuing talking about this with you guys. And that's only the top. Like, that's only one thing that I love about this show.
Yeah.
It's
Also, Langa almost fucking died.
yeah, he almost got hit by a fucking truck. We almost had another death by truck-kun.
Ah, yes, skate to
We almost.
infinity, isekai.
What isekai do you think it would have been?
Longa
I
gets
think.
hit by a truck, everything goes black. Ah, you're finally awake.
Oh no.
Snow, you
I,
want
I,
snow?
do you think he'd reincarnate as Reiki's skateboard, like that one fucking movie that JonTron reviewed?
No, we're not. No, stop.
Mm-mm.
I'm not even gonna like. I don't know.
Just no.
Just absolutely no. That I had to go over all like the characters that are not like our main two first, because even though we have two main characters, they've put so much focus on so many different people, and it's so good. Like
I
you get to see everybody.
Yeah.
also
It's glorious.
Also, the more we talk about it, the more I'm just realizing how much we got from this episode. We got to see Reiki's family, his mom, his little sisters, little baby sisters, and I'm going to put up my favorite still of this episode, which is Langa being terrified by the fucking child.
Look, that my God, I think just in general there was I think we got a lot of stills of Longa in general because he got some interesting
I
images this episode.
To
I
be fair, he's fucking
I
pretty.
still I still argue that Longa is the main character and Reiki is the viewpoint character. I still argue that.
I mean, yeah, I can see it.
But
Both listed as main character.
I know. But I am very like I actually want to see a lot more from Longa's mom because
She's
it's the
delightful.
yeah, she's just sitting there so worried about her son because he keeps getting injuries. And I was a bit concerned for a little bit. It's like, oh no, this is gonna be a running gag. She keeps thinking her son's getting into fights. But no, they like a normal family, they talk to each other, and
No,
she's just really and she misses her husband.
yeah, he Longa pretty much immediately he wasn't hiding from her. He just wasn't like saying everything right away, and then he said what it was. It wasn't like some thing,
Yeah,
which I
Langa's a
appreciate.
quiet kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, God,
But yeah,
as
I
a
love
we
his
quiet
mom. I think his mom is
yeah,
delightful.
yeah, she's
early
but honestly, Reiki's mom is pretty great too. Just
early
different
front
kind
runner.
of great.
Yeah, Longa's mom, early front runner for waifu for me. I don't have a type. Shut up, chat.
Yeah, but the thing, the thing is
I'm
though,
assuming chat is bullying me.
the thing is
Nah,
though, like
not
with
yet.
Reiki's mom is she's sweet and cute. She's a little awkward and it's kind of pushy. But Langa's mom, like the thing about her is like she's actually funny and she's emotive and she's like I just this show does characters so well. This show does characters so well, and that's all I can say. And it's one of the reasons I really enjoyed it. This episode, like, it's great, and it was a great second episode because it really did feel like the second part of an introduction to this world and this story.
It's like we saw time transition, but we saw it transition in such a like such a smooth, effective way that didn't feel like we were like jumping that heavily. And that was I I don't get to feel that very often. It always feels like time like just all of a sudden jolts to a different point, but they really like smoothly transitioned it from point to point in this, and I can appreciate that heavily.
Yeah, like this episode was a lot of fun.
It
So
was like so good.
And Catboy and Longa, or Logna. Sorry, golly, keep having me saying Longa. Logna and
Logna.
Catboy have a beef.
I like
yeah, they
how
have a beef set up. He's gonna lose.
it's a preordained beef.
Preordained by what? Holy doctrine?
By
Goldhorn.
businessman.
Yeah, it's Langa.
That's why
My
I
sub
always
said
call it
Logna.
manga.
It's Langa.
Okay, the Go-Go Anime subs are wrong. Or, I mean, the Funimation subs. Sorry.
Oh, you just fucked up.
How dare
No,
you?
sorry. I did watch this one on Funimation. I have that in my head because I'm not paying for XR.
But no, it is manga, and it is like,
I am
yeah, no,
not
it's just
paying for XR. Sorry.
also like the relationship forming, because they didn't immediately make Longa and Reiki best friends. They made them sort of like acquaintances, but they've gotten really close through this episode,
He's his friend.
and they're really good friends now, and they did everything so good. The emotional moment, like about his dad and why he wasn't snowboarding, and how skating felt for him finally getting onto a board after. So they did everything so well.
Speaking of doing all that really well, the way that they convey how awkward it is to learn skateboarding for the first time is incredible. Like the animation here in this show is fantastic. Like it's when it's flashy, it is spectacular, but when it's just the show itself, you really like this is such an obviously a passion project for the team. Um, yeah, if you've ever gotten on a skateboard before, what happens to Langa will happen to you. You will bust your ass. You will hang in the sky and you will fall down. Time will stop for a few seconds and then you will crash. And the fact that it took 2/3 of the episode for Langa to start like bleeding is a miracle because the moment he fucking ate shit and ate pavement and almost died by Truck-kun, he should have had road rash so bad. Like I've fallen off a motorcycle before. When I saw that scene, I winced a little bit.
My friend, one time, he was a motorcycle, came out from the truck he was behind and knocked the motorcycle out from under him. So yeah, I know just how bad those road rashes get.
Yeah, that shit can fucking suck.
Also, I don't know why, just something about the fact that fucking that Longa rides Goofy is just hilarious to me.
I love how in the first episode they gave him this legendary moment, and then when he was skating away from the gym, the I don't know.
It's where I got that epic screenshot of his eyes. It looks like a super cool moment that I got is the one right before he slams into the brick wall.
Because he doesn't know how to turn. He tries to
He
activate his
does,
snowboard brain, and he gets all cool, and then boom, right into the wall.
yeah, it does this cool little just image of him, like it looks like he's gonna like pull like a super epic like savant moment, and then bam, hits the wall.
Yeah.
So
Also, the mid cards this time.
Yeah, the little the commercial break animations.
I love that, and I said it before. A lot of shows have transitions, but that is one of my this is like my favorite transition I've ever dealt with
It's
because
cute.
it's so cute. It's so good.
Also, this anime straight up admits that, like, even the anime says that Canada's the new America in anime. It's just like, you're from America. It's like, no, I'm from Canada. Oh, what's the difference? You're all from there. And I'm like, okay.
Well, as a Canadian, the mech lab downstairs is constantly exploding, so there is a difference.
Uh, if we don't stop, we're not. I'm not gonna stop. If we
yeah, yeah. Let's hold up cards, guys.
But let's hold up. I'm gonna fuck the show. It is really good. Well, it's not the strongest for me this season, that being the show we just talked about before this. It's still really strong. It's the second strongest for me. But Jujutsu Kaisen also has the benefit of having 13 other episodes that were really hype.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, true. I'll go next. I'm fucking the show wholeheartedly. This show is great. Like, I was watching it and I'm like, man, I was just so happy to be watching it. I have such a good time with it, and the animation, the expressions, the characters, the vibe, the colors, the energy, the weight of everything happening, the actual like physics of everything. It's just overall fantastic. I hope this little skate prodigy isn't an obnoxious gamer like trope type, like the cat boy. I think his name is Mia or Maya. But seriously, this show has not done anything wrong. The fact that our villain has Dio's voice actor and is just fucking Dio is incredible. The humor is fantastic, both visually and just like comedic timing and execution and delivery. The character relationships that it doesn't have to be super complicated. This show is just a fucking joy to watch. I hello. Also, Dad's dead. We didn't talk about that. Sad, but yeah. Actually,
Wait,
the there are moments in the show that I'm looking forward to, like with Langa's dad being passed away. Like I look forward to this show bringing out more emotion as well. I can see it pulling it off.
It's already pulled out some really good emotion too with his dad's death, because
Mm,
obviously his dad's the one that taught him to snowboard, and he's learning this whole new thing is just reminding him of those good moments. It is
mm.
so cute and sweet.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Gilly,
fuck this show. I love this show so much.
I can really tell you.
This is my number one show.
Yeah, that's
Really is.
totally
I
fair.
really like this show because at least as of now, any and all actual like conflict antagonistic stuff isn't even that like it's not life or death or anything. It's not that big, and I like that. It's low stakes.
Yeah. What
This.
tattoo do you think Logna made Shadow get?
Oh, I forgot about that. Why don't you just be like,
I
Langa's boring, right? Like, he's not boring. He's very like plain. So he just like made him write "I'm sorry" like on his arm or on his shoulder or something.
No, it's a Canada flag right on his taint.
wonder
Jesus, Meep, with the
I wonder if
fucking
he'll
maple
ever like
leaf
bring that up.
winking at you.
This show totally would be the type to have it be like, now I have this maple leaf on my arm. Sorry, eh? Anyways.
I just one last thing. I think I can speak. I think this goes for me and Gilly, but this show is gonna have to fuck up really hard to make us fall off this fall off this ride.
It really,
Hey,
I don't even know if it can because its core theme and concepts would have to change.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I do need to
it'd
mention
have
one
to
last
go
thing.
Nakayama Drive.
Yeah, no, fuck you. How dare you? Best show of fall 2020. I want to mention one last
You're
thing before we
wrong.
move on. I love how this show captures both the freedom and like the urban attitude of skating, but also like the punk culture of skating. And I think it does a really good job like speaking to both sides of those together. Like Shadow made some very crass comments in the first episode, and that's something you gotta fucking. I'm not happy about that presence in punk culture or even like urban culture, but like nothing is perfect, but you see these characters are flawed but also like have a lot of redemption to them. Regardless, I think it's great. I love the spirit, and we got our title drop. Infinite possibilities. Skate.
Want to know what also has infinite possibilities? Wonder Egg Priority, Episode 1.
Okay, let's go.
I is a girl who is brought to a weird place to break an egg. This show is going to be such a nice, fun slice of life, but then she goes into a dream world where she has to protect someone. These people are girls who killed themselves, just like I's friend. And if I saves enough, her dead friend will come back to life. But any injuries in the dream, I keeps in real life. I have to preface this with something. I watched this episode, and I talked to my friend. I talked to a friend about it who also watched. I watched with some of them. I watched some episodes with him. This show, well, my actual opinions on the show themselves, I do have to bring this up. This is a bad way to do marketing and advertisement for your show because my friend ended up having panic attack. He has severe triggers when it comes to suicide, depression, things like that. And this show advertised itself as a cutesy slice of life isekai, which some people might be watching those shows to escape from depressing shows. Like maybe someone watched episode 12 of Jujutsu Kaisen and wanted to feel better, then watch that. But then that happens, and it's a really like I get subversing of your expectations, but at the same time, there's a difference between subversion and false, misleading advertisement.
I disagree. I think you're taking this way too far. While what happened to your friend is indeed unfortunate, first of all, it's never advertised as an isekai. Second of all, it is.
It's not advertised as
Nope.
it's advertised as a slice of life.
No, it's advertised as psychological drama and fantasy, and its original pitch was slice of life into a look of a girl, a troubled girl. From the very beginning, it said, "I agree that the marketing is intentionally soft to mislead you, to lull you to a false sense of security, but I think the marketing is extremely artistic, and I think it was intentionally done so, not to not to like trick people. I mean, yes, to trick people, to mislead people, but for a reason, for a use.
That's a
Also,
that's
the
a
show
problem.
also the show has spent its first third constantly setting up a level of uncomfortable disassociation that something is going to go wrong, from the lighting to the music to like even the things that characters were saying. Nothing was correct. Everything was slightly off from the very beginning.
Like that, when a show is misleading and tricking the audience to get to watch the show. You have to trick your audience to get them interested in a show or to get them to watch the show.
There was no trick. There was no information out about the show except for like 1.5 or 2 weeks before the show released. They showed the main character. They showed the main character. The website was no information except that it was an original work by this person with this studio and these people, and that's it. If you made assumptions, that's on you. Well, I don't think that what happened to your friend, I'm sure happens to other people. I think when recommending this show to people, it is absolutely necessary to give a content warning. Because if you don't, that could happen to someone else, and I don't want that to happen because there are explicitly triggering and very dark and specific themes and topics being explored in this show. That being said, I cannot agree that all art should be censored by the limits of content warnings and triggering, because then everything is the same. That stifles innovation so much.
I'm not saying the show should have censored itself. I'm saying the marketing should have been more accurate and not actively have to trick the viewers. Because if all the trailers did not show any inkling that there would be any psychological aspects of this until the episode came out, the tags on my anime list were slice of life, and that was about it. Psychological thriller wasn't on there until the episode came out. Actively misleading and false advertisement, and it's in a level it impacted my taste of the show because while it's good, you don't have to trick your audience to even get an audience. This is Cloverworks. They're well known. They don't have to trick people to get.
Yeah, but Cloverworks is also known for like dark anime. Like they do horror. Like that's something that they do.
But they've also done the one bunny suit anime. They've done slice of life before. They've done slice of life before.
They're doing our slice of life.
Yes, exactly. It's just the false advertisement, the misleading advertisement. It's important that shows don't do that so they don't inadvertently cause a death.
No, I that's taking it way too far. You're blaming a media for causing that thing. I'm sorry. I myself have been in very dark places in my life, and blaming a show for that is not fair. Seek therapy, seek help, reach out to people, find the assistance you need. But don't put it on a show, because The moment you start doing I think its marketing was brilliant. I thought it was an incredible play. It's super meta. It was a great use of, like you said, subverting expectations. It's not what it is. It's an artistic choice to kind of like trick the person to get a stronger effect. Like, should art not be allowed the
That's
artistic
that's great
freedom to
stuff.
be impactful and create abstract emotional effects? Like, once you start limiting everything by that, that's really not fair to the show. I've lost friends to suicide. I would not blame the show
I
over
have
it.
it's like the marketing was purposefully misleading and false.
Yeah, it's
And
called a fucking meta play. It's brilliant.
while brilliant, I still find it disgusting on a level.
That's on you. We can agree and disagree. We still have the whole show to talk about.
Much to say about the show as a whole.
Alright, Gilly. What the fuck did I lock?
I don't I don't know. Honestly, I was I couldn't even focus on any of the actual controversial things because it was just fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually have issues with that kind of stuff, but I was too focused on how fucking strange everything was. Like it was just odd in every way.
This show was.
It gave me
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm just saying it was a trip.
it fucking like specifically like it gave me fucking fully cooly vibes in ways that it did things and it was so fucking weird.
It had the fully coolly like level of abstract pacing that was mind blowing, and it's been multiple days, and I think I still haven't gathered all my words for it. Like, no, seriously, like, what will this show be? Like, I am incredibly intrigued, but like simultaneously like amazed and terrified of this show because, like, what Meep said is true. Like, none of us expected this going in. I put the show on as like the last episode to watch before I go to bed, and I stayed up for 2 hours after watching it because I was shaking with like excitement and confusion and just like, what the hell? Like, this is not at all what I expected, and I had very little expectations coming into this. I am getting a feeling like this will either be like it just incredible, like legendary anime, or like potentially the best of the season. I know we just talked about Skate, but in terms of like objectively, like as a work of art, this I think it has the potential to be just astounding. Or it will go down as one of the worst animes because what Meep says is true. Like, it could take this to a disgusting level, and if it does not handle these extremely sensitive, dark, and dangerous subjects with the appropriate care and understanding, it can hurt people. And that's when we condemn the show. There will be no stills for this anime. Just the title card that because you also will have all we had going into this. But the animation is incredible. It is at the level of a fucking movie. The characters all look insane, insane, like incredible. Like the colors, the expressions, the emotions, the mid frames. It's gorgeous. Like the level of depth, both concrete and abstract, from emotions to animations, is just wow.
Hmm. Yeah, overall, I enjoyed the episode. I just have my own opinions on the marketing, and I actively encourage against that kind of marketing. Like, if I understand wanting to subvert it's just in that case, don't put out a trailer that advertises what the show isn't. But that's not that's side the point.
I
This
I just want to go clear because I feel like we butted heads in the beginning of this because I feel strongly about it and you feel strongly about your position. I want to just go on record and say that like I agree with you in general, like like I completely agree with you in terms of false marketing and even like misleading stuff with dangerous things. I just don't think this took it so far that it deserves. I just I don't think it went as far as you feel it does, but that's why we're different people and we have our different opinions. That being said, yes, false marketing is bullshit. Fuck you, Fallout 76. Still not happy about you. And in general, like you need to be told, like you need to, if when you buy something, you should be getting what you're promised. This, on the other hand, I see this as much more as artistic than it is marketing, which is why I'm like saying like now hold on, hold your horses. You got to look at it from the artistic and meta sense.
last time I checked, artists don't post a picture like this is going to be coming up tomorrow on their Twitter, and then post their Twitter of them crucifying a Woody action figure.
I don't know, man. This is like Doki Doki Literature Club, except better and more tastefully done, and with more like heart in it.
Eh,
Because the
different.
sadness that I goes through, she's not okay. She's not okay from the very beginning. They introduce her as like this awkward girl, but like she's quirky, and then throughout every scene that she's not outside, which we don't know if is reality or not, she is shut in. And man, I am so fucking interested in what's gonna come from this show. I'm holding up a giant eggplant right now because I have no idea what we're in store for, and I am so interested in finding out.
Yeah. For most of the episode, until the scene where we get to the statue came up, I was just confused. But after that, I started to get it, and I was enjoying myself. It's just I don't know. This show might be a bit wishy washy for me, but overall, I enjoyed it. I love things that speak through metaphor. Is I fucking crazy? Is this the stuff that actually happening, or is this just her mind processing grief? I don't know.
I think it's gonna be the latter, but we're gonna. I think the show's gonna succeed in doing what Madoka Magica wanted to do. Because I don't like Madoka Magica, and I've argued with people about that multiple times. I think Madoka Magica is super overrated, and it's not as brilliant or dark as it makes itself out to be. But
Sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say because a thought crossed my mind. Do you think the injuries she's taking in the dreams are going to be like later on explained as her
Self-inflicting? Yes.
self harm?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think they're leading up to, and I'm tearing up even thinking about that because that is so incredibly sad. This show is I don't think it's going to be for everyone. I think the show is not going to make very it might sorry, I'm getting emotional. I don't this show might very well not make it to the end of the season. All my eggs are in this Wonder Egg baskets.
This seems like one of those shows that's made specifically as an art house piece, like the kinds that get nominated for Emmys or Oscars.
Yeah. Except less industry-wise, I think we're going to see some incredible creativity here. We'll see. Whether this becomes a dark horse or a black sheep, or if this becomes like a cult like classic, or if this becomes a legend, only time will tell. I've been talking too much about this show. Gilly, sorry, I kind of took the reins there. Is there anything else you wanted to add? I got overtaken with emotion.
I have like next to nothing to say about the show other than just confusion.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm also gonna fuck this show for now. I'm interested to see where it goes. We got introduced to another girl at the end who has been doing this for a lot longer, which is going to be interesting to see that explored.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I might be gay or bi.
I mean, everyone's bi, Dalaran.
I mean, yeah, all girls in anime are bi now. That's not. I'm not even kidding. Like seriously.
Everyone.
Yeah.
You watch Golden Kamuy.
But yes, the sexualization of women in media is truly transcending of gender and sex. Anyway, yeah, but like Ai's reaction to seeing the girl, like she straight up goes like, "Oh my god, she's so hot. Like she has such an incredible figure." Like,
I is also in middle school, Dalaran. Keep that in mind.
oh, she's not a high schooler.
It didn't seem like high school.
Well, in middle school, you start developing sexual feelings. That's the age when you start developing that. Whether or not Western culture likes to admit it or not, that's when these kinds of things start coming up. This is when we start becoming introduced to our more intimate and sexual aspects of life.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that I don't want to see a romance about a middle schooler. That would feel weird and awkward to me.
Oh no, I completely see this show. I 100% see this show going into like attraction, guilt, shame, confusion, sexuality. I just, again, I really hope I pray to all the gods, like, that this show does it right. Like, it does it with taste, it doesn't pervert it, it doesn't go super dark for the, like, it doesn't go super edge, it doesn't go super dark for shock effect. I I might be setting myself up for disappointment, but we will see.
Come on, let's have Dalaran have 0 out of 2 locks gone well.
Oh no! I hope not. I hope not.
What's your verdict, Gilly?
Trepidatious. I didn't dislike it, so I'm gonna fuck the episode, but I I don't know. It's the way it's doing things, the confusion. This is something that could very quickly for me just immediately descend into lack of enjoyment.
I can't believe this is going to be your. I can't believe this is going to be this season's Adachi Toshimamura.
I mean, the
No,
funny thing.
because I did hate Adachi Tsushima. I don't hate this.
I mean,
Nothing will
episode
ever be
1.
that bad. Nothing will ever be that bad, me. I don't use the word hate loosely.
In all fairness, you didn't use the word hate during Adachi Toshimura's first episode. You just said you were bored. It was the second episode you started hating it, or at least the second episode you told us you hated it. Anyways,
Hmm.
I think that's it for Egg. And now,
Egg.
let's
Also,
let us.
sorry, I know we're going, but there's just one more thing I want to say. I completely forgot about this until you said egg. I was going to make the egg joke from our fall season, all of this episode, because like we woke up, we got an egg, we have breakfast, we eat an egg, and I'm like, egg is the new anime thing, and then the rest of the episode played, and I completely forgot about that joke.
Well, something that doesn't have eggs. X-Arm, episode 2.
Fuck.
Akira joins the anti-X-Arm squad and helps them track down a cult who uses people as bombs, however. And when they kill the priest, the X-Arm was taken. Can we kill this fucking show?
Can we please? Can we stop? Like, I know we should be like, oh, let's have a talk. No more, please. No more. Stop.
You sure you don't want me to fuck it and then we have to put this and code black on the wheel?
Gilly, would you fuck this show?
Fuck no.
Like, it.
It's
I was
just
hired.
it's
Sorry.
the the line delivery is not the best. The animation is awful. There was technically more of a storyline in this episode.
Was
but
it?
there was, but it was just bad. So even though there
Yeah.
was story, there was no good in it. So there was actually something there, but it was bad, so it didn't help.
This looks so bad. They're all dead inside. My gods, they just pan to dead models. Fucking blink.
Does anyone,
Blinking requires too much budget, Dalaran.
Oh my
Does
fucking
anyone-
god.
does anyone want to talk about the ecchi scene?
What etchy scene?
Big kiss.
What the kiss that I took a screenshot of?
Let me pull
I
that
had
up
to
for
check this out in the manga. In
let
the
me.
manga, it's a lot more sexual and actually works on an ecchi level.
Look, there that little that transition card they had that had a image from the manga is felt so fucking disjointed and weird.
Look at this. This is how they chose their female on female kiss, and it wasn't even a romantic kiss. They like traded DNA so they can like upload and be in sync or some shit.
Let me steal your DNA.
Gene stealers. This show is garbage. No, this show's garbage. It's not trash. Trash is bad, intentionally bad. It's good. Trash is either it's so bad it's good or it's intentionally bad to be good. This is garbage. This is
They're
burning garbage. Last
Yeah.
week I spoke and I said, "Hey, people who made this, we're sorry. We don't know what happened, but like fuck this."
there are plenty of shows like with last season that I would continue watching. This is not one of those. This is one that I'll just hear about in the background and maybe ask people to stop talking about it or walk away. Um
It's so
Also, what
lazy.
I have how do we feel about the fact that our main character who's just a brain in a jar apparently tried to end the world in 2020?
Who gives a shit? He never fucking blinks. He has the same fucking expression in every shot.
Sorry about that. I just got a phone call. I just got a phone call from someone. They asked me if I want anything from town. I said, "Oh, okay. Would you be able to go here?" Then I started getting screamed at. So
Okay,
The
well, then
da-
don't worry about it. Let's continue with the show.
the Dalaran.
What?
They s- they had him try to end the world on the year.
Literally the best thing about the show is the fucking year cards, because at least we get a really cool 2020 calendar symbol.
Yeah, there's it's just there's nothing really good. There's nothing good to say about this.
It really isn't. The show's fucking terrible. They all have one facial expression. There's no lip sync. It doesn't exist. The 2D animation is awful. I apologize to DS games and 3DS games for making a comparison. Um,
I told you not to make that comparison last time because I was already offended.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was wrong. It's Jesus fucking Christ. Like they do a slow panning zoom out in a scene, and then they just cut back where the camera was. Like it just chops back. How was this
did,
released? How the fuck is this released on an official platform?
did you know their zoom-ins aren't actually animated, and it's just them stretching the picture? You can
It's
see the picture get wider, and you can see the pixels start getting shittier.
oh my god, you're right. There were scenes like that.
We've been talking about this show for almost 5 minutes. Should we unplug the brain?
No, just two last
Stop
things
what we're
before we
doing.
go. The three last things. Why the fuck did they break through the stained glass window? That's fucking rude. The kid's fucking dead. They definitely shot the fucking kid. And last but not least, the villain of the week is just a knockoff Kimberly from Full Metal Alchemist.
But those were sedatives, Dalaran.
Oh yeah, poofy guns? Who the fuck were the two cops? Why were they there? Who are they? Nothing fucking matters in this show.
I'm worried about whatever the. Every time I saw like the quote unquote smoke from the gun bothered me.
They had force bullets.
They just they just fill their guns with, you know, just powdered sugar. Gotta make it like gotta make it look fancy when it fires.
Hate it. Hate it.
We never have to talk about this show again. We all gave our verdict.
I cannot I cannot believe this is real. I cannot believe this show exists. And if I wasn't watching this for a friend, I don't think I'd be able to do it. This is such a waste of my fucking time. The only good thing is that when me and my friend were watching it, we were dying laughing when they just fucking shot the dude out of the helicopter. And there was this moment where they're like, "Ah, the priest is getting away. How's he gonna run? By car? by metro, and I'm like, by helicopter, and then they're like, by helicopter, of course, and I'm like, I was kidding, you fucks.
Yeah, it's not like the good I was kidding, like you get with killing bites.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh god, it's X-Arm.
I'm
I
happy this.
I try to
sorry.
leave. I try to end things on one good note, and the only good thing I could say about this episode is that
Please don't.
I like I like the Patroid robots. I like their little whale heads. I thought they were cute. I thought the Patroids were the patrol bots. The Patroids, I think they were called. I think that they were cute.
You are damning the show with faint praise.
Look,
It
the show's
doesn't.
dead.
It doesn't deserve.
Unless something else gets 3 knives, this show is dead, and we no longer have to fucking follow this race. This X-Arms race.
Well, Soma Spider, so what? Got its second episode. I
Yep.
think we're ready to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about more CG.
Spider's classmate start classes while Spider continues to eat frogs and level up until she finds a human stealing a dragon egg. The humans come down and burn her house down, so she tries leveling up until she fights a strong snake and evolves. This show does nothing for me. I want it dead. I just, at least I'm not sitting there hating myself like I was with Kuma Bear. That's an improvement, I guess.
I had fun.
Gilly, go ahead.
I don't know. I have a good time with this show. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching it. I like the jokes. I'm actually liking the animation, surprisingly.
How do you feel about the CG?
I've seen significantly worse.
I mean, all of us have.
It's actually it's for me it's quite decent CG.
You say you've seen worse. All of us have. All of us watched X-Arm.
That's not CG. That's... Ugh.
CG is made in source.
I know, but you can't compare the two.
Yes, you can. Listen, I'm the guy that says if I was into Berserk, I probably could get past the CG in 2016. And I don't hate the CG here. It just this show does nothing for me.
I like when they draw our Spider Girl. Like, I think when the spider is 2D, it looks really good. Or like when they shift into 2.5D animation. Like, look at this. This is great. Look at her getting her foot smashed when she's building. Like, I think the 2D animation is good, but the CG still catches me sometimes. Sometimes it's smooth, but a lot of times I'm like, it still takes me out of breaks my immersion.
Yeah, I sit there watching with a blank face, and I don't even realize it's over until it's over. I think that's my biggest issue with this show so far is that it's a nothing for me. What's a show I can compare this to last season?
That's up to you, homie.
Yeah, I'm just give me a moment. This show was like Xerst to me. It gave me nothing.
I like Xerst.
I didn't. I didn't. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't get much out of this episode. At least not much more that episode 1 gave me.
Well, fair enough.
I'm not gonna sit here and shit on it like I did Kuma Bear, because one, I actually, in hindsight, I felt bad because I wasn't meaning to trash your guys' opinions, and two,
it's fine. It's what the show's about, dude.
Yeah, and two, I don't have as vitriolic opinions towards this as I do Kuma Bear.
It's okay. You had garbage opinions about a different show.
Rude.
But yeah, as far as like what happened in the episode, first of all, the opening scene, what a fucking bitch. Like, that bully girl, like, I can't wait for Spider Girl to, like, fucking kill her in her dragon form. Also,
Adele, she's trying to get redemption.
She can go fuck herself. She hasn't done anything for redemption.
I know. I'm not.
Um,
I'm not trying to argue for her.
I know, I know.
I don't care enough to argue for her.
Also,
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Spider Girl.
Okay,
What?
You
Hello?
died for a second there,
you cut
Dale.
out.
Oh, I cut out. Sorry. Does anyone else feel like Spider Girl's personality is completely different in this episode than the other one? Than in the
Oh, yeah.
first episode?
Totally.
Not really.
It. It felt like she was more comfortable in this episode. Is the best way to put it. Which, I mean, I understand.
It felt like I didn't feel like she was a different personality. It just felt like she's already pretty heavily adapted to to the situation.
I can see that.
I mean, it also doesn't help that her character is the kind of character that I've really been not enjoying in isekai lately. The head empty dumbass archetype.
But it doesn't
Like
make
even
sense because her personality in the real in our world was so fucking different. Like I don't understand the shift.
I well, we never saw her in the real world. Like she read a book in the real world, was quiet, but
She was the quiet kid that got picked on a lot, and we saw her sitting alone, just constantly sad because everyone was awful to her.
It's a whole thing that they even addressed it in the first episode that her pretty much the only thing she ever did was, she played video games. She got an escape from reality with video games. She I don't it seems like she doesn't have a one she seems to not have a exactly full grasp on the fact that this is real, and the way she speaks, the way she acts, it's all just still a video game to her, and she acts like she would in a video game,
Mhm.
which apparently is farming a lot. She's one of those people. She's a grinder.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
I mean, that one guy can hit me up on Grinder. I mean, what?
Speaking
Actually,
of,
wait, he might be a child. Never mind.
yeah, careful. A
I
lot
just,
of them are high schoolers or junior high schoolers. We don't have an age yet.
they were reincarnated as adults. No, I'm joking.
No.
So, speaking of the other characters, we're just openly talking about being reincarnated in the classroom, huh? Just laissez-faire, la-di-da. Oh, how's your day? Oh, it's good. I had like a hot dog, egg sandwich for breakfast. Cool. I'm reincarnated. Like we're just talking about.
I
I guess.
mean, yeah, they're just taught. It was, which is a very big shift because in the first episode, they were trying to be like all subtle and not like actually say it until it was just the group of them all together, and then they just say, "Ah, I don't give a shit."
So there were supposedly 13 students who were reincarnated, and we've seen 7 of them, including our spider, right?
Plus their teacher. Yeah.
No, I'm including the teacher in my counting.
Okay.
There's the 4. There's girl. Then there's teacher.
I'm gonna be honest.
And
I
there's
don't
spider.
care yet.
I'm
One
assuming
they're
the other
actually the only one they even bring up about not being accounted for is our spider.
No, there's a few people. They mention her specifically because she's the main character.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one they mentioned about being not accounted for. I'm just guessing they don't care about the other students. Because in episode 1, they mentioned, okay, 13 students were reincarnated. And apparently they have track of all of them. As I mentioned, yeah, because in it's in that episode they mentioned the only one we don't have accounted for is blank. So the other 5 are around. I'm wondering if any of them are going to be villains, because we see in the opening there's the one villain who keeps cutting like all the spiders in half.
Yeah, or the fucking the vampire looking bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also very. Yeah, I think we're gonna see new characters. Personally, I can't wait for our fucking Fire Emblem Lord main character.
Can't wait until next week where we
Just
have
like
like 4 on the wheel.
I know there's a it
Gillico.
seems like I'm the only one that's like actually getting invested in the show, but I really am.
This is your new King's Raid.
What do you mean? I'm still watching King's Raid. I just didn't get this episode this week because I didn't have time.
uh, I, so to say something I dislike and something I do like about this show, Alice, um, I I don't find it funny. The jokes keep falling flat. I got like two, three chuckles. I think the ending is fucking incredible. I actually laugh at the ending. Uh, but like the show itself, like it's again, it's humor. It doesn't hit it for me. I've seen this done before. Some of the facial animations and expressions from the spider are good, but she's like most of her humor is just screaming. I think she does a good job as a voice actress, and I think the show does a.
You cut out again.
God damn it! What's going on? Where did I cut off?
You think the show
She
does a
does a
good
good
job?
job.
I think the show does a good job by like with sound design. I don't like how the web looks. The web makes me uncomfortable because it is goopy and very jizzy. But I think the show does a good job with its sound design because when Spider is talking in the cave, they add this little echo effect, and when she's talking in her head, the echo effect isn't there. I think that's a really nice touch. I appreciate those little things in design, but that's yeah, that's all I have to say
I
about the
actually
show.
like the voice
you
actress.
you don't want to get trapped in the cum web
It's
down the
so
run.
goopy. The web and the sound effect. It literally does the sound
Yeah,
effect.
no, it's very uncomfortable. That's probably one of the only things I don't like about the show, but at
I
the same time I
I,
don't like it. It makes me laugh though, because it's so
I look
bad.
I because I had to. I looked it up, and yes, spiders do come.
Are we ready to hold up cards?
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck
I
this
am,
show.
but
Go ahead, Gilly.
fair.
That's I said mine.
You're roboting out a little bit.
I show. I like this show. It's
Okay.
nice. I enjoy it. I have good time.
Ye. I I enjoy the voice actress. I just wish she was in a better show for me. I'm gonna have to give the show the knife.
I I'm going to fuck this show, but this is a very tentative fuck. The second date didn't go as well. I don't, you need to when you're on a date and people put a lot of emphasis in telling jokes, you need to find those jokes funny, and they're not doing it for me. However, we still have a few interests in mind, so I might just give this one more chance. I want to give this another episode to see where they take this whole evolution thing. Like, what can I say? I'm a sucker for JRPG mechanics and transformations. That's pretty much the only thing that's really keeping me in the show. I don't really care about the side characters. The spider, I like her voice actress. I think she's doing a great job. It's just not right for me. Um, let's see what they do this next episode, but the next episode might be my last.
I
I mean, I oh
I'm
sorry.
I personally think she made the wrong choice, but that's a whole different thing.
You want her to be a lesser spider instead of a small spider?
If it, well, I don't know. From my experience, like with a progression kind of thing, lesser is the step that leads into greater, which is usually the really terrifying things you have to deal with.
Hmm.
Small doesn't feel like it's gonna lead into the, might not lead into the better options.
I think
Can't
she's
wait
gonna
for
stay small. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I can't wait for her to look like one of the spiders from Conan Exiles.
no.
The I'm also a sucker for Pokemon, but I'm not gonna fuck this episode. But another episode that another show that has cum in it. Uh, Musho Tensei,
Jesus.
Jobless Reincarnation in episode 2.
Jesus fuck
Rudy
me.
catches Roxy fingering herself to his parents having sex and learns she is a demon. They celebrate Rudy's birthday and he takes the final exam to pass her teaching. And when he passes, he absolutely shatters and destroys her confidence, curb stomps it, so she leaves and is never gonna come back. You fucked it,
This
Rudy.
this that wasn't a joke, by the way, chat. That is literally the scene of Roxy playing with herself outside his parents' doors while they have sex, peeking on them. That's in this anime.
I don't. I mean, I enjoyed that scene because this show works on an etchy level for me. on the same time, I don't fucking care about this main character or his motivations. Listen, I am very, as someone who was bullied in high school. Again, I don't know how Japanese high schools are. Maybe entire classes will bully only one person, but okay, no, I phrased that wrong. Maybe an entire class will bully one person, but usually it's only a small group of children. Not every person is a horrible person in that class, or if there is, get your child out of that school. It's just, again, we have the benefit to of having last season a really good look into the bullying of in a high school
Mm-hmm.
with our boy. Here it just felt shallow, and even his way of getting over it felt really shallow to me. And it, like, I like it. It was really cute how he was like, "Oh, she helped me overcome my fear." Again, you have to look at, she's like what, 14, 16,
We
and
don't
he's a 34-year-old man in a child's body wanting to get off to her.
we
It's
don't know Roxy's age, and also I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the second half of what you said in terms of like I'm gonna stop trying to make it sound clever and just come out and say it. I liked how he got over it. Um, I think that was the strongest point in the episode. It wasn't Roxy fingering herself. It was the fact that we got to see him get over this trauma.
I, I don't know. The episode starts off pretty strong with that scene.
Oh no, no, no! You forgot to mention the episode starts off not with that, but with him jerking off to hentai in like this
I
trash-covered room.
Right, he was jerking off to hentai, skipping his parents' funeral. I forgot about that.
Yep, yep. We're just gonna. The episode just opens up with jacking off. Great,
Why didn't his
excellent.
brothers just kill him? His brother should have just slammed the bat into his head, because that actually pissed me off. Like, his parents seemed so supportive from what we saw, but he fucking ditches their funeral to watch hentai. Okay, that was a little harsh saying that they should have, but he deserved some sort of repentance for that.
I mean, he got thrown out into the rain with nothing, so, and he was not allowed into his house anymore. So,
I guess we don't feel the effects of it because he gets hit by a truck soon after. That is true. I was a bit harsh during that. I'm sorry.
no, you
It's
don't
just,
like this main character. I get it. Also, chat.
yeah,
No, bad chat.
His parents need to chill the fuck out.
they're just horny rabbits.
Yeah, yo, holy shit. Yeah, and then in the
They
isekai, his
fuck
parents are
all the time.
still fucking. I mean, to be
I mean,
fair,
to be fair, in medieval times, there's nothing else to do, so I can't blame them.
I mean, his parents are hot.
It's so fucking loud too. Like he's in his room and you can hear it
Yeah,
through the walls almost clearly.
yeah, they do need to quiet down.
They're
I
just fucking real loud in their room, and apparently that's great masturbation uh great masturbation material for Roxy.
I mean,
I
she's a growing girl.
what the fuck is this show? I was eating while watching this episode, by the way. I literally dropped my fork while I was eating when that scene with Roxy played out. Like there was a clattering sound in my apartment because my fork hit the plate.
I was fully expecting the kid, or like him, to go up to her and ask if she needs some help.
I
I
if this was a show on a different website, then that probably would have happened. That being said, he's
Shota.
4. The kid is 4 years old.
I thought he was 6 at this point.
No. During that scene,
he's
he's
5
4,
by
and
the
that's
end.
fucking gross.
Ah,
Because Roxy says, hit me up in 10 years, which means she's down to fuck a 14-year-old.
Well, they
he's-
they actually said in the show adulthood is at 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
They actually specifically addressed that because
And when she
the only birthdays are celebrated every 5 years, and your 15th is when you're an adult.
Yeah, and when she
That doesn't
said
make anything less weird, but they
yeah,
did explain it.
And when she said, "Tell me that again in 10 years," it felt more dismissive to me than anything. Like her
No,
going, "Oh, of course he's not going to feel that way in 10 years. Just tell me again in 10 years."
no,
Like she
Roxy's
said
just
it
sad
very
girl.
matter of factly.
Roxy's just a sad girl. That's what she is.
It's not like that girl Pixie Bob from My Hero when she says, "You guys will be great in 3 years." It's like, I mean, good on her for wanting to wait for them to be 18, but still saying the kids are sexy.
Yep.
You called the
Roxy,
kids.
Roxy is just sad demon girl.
Other than that, another weird scene was the kid absolutely shattering and destroying her hopes and dreams and aspirations.
I don't understand why he did it.
I mean, I get that he was getting into the whole performance of the thing, but it still felt very like, come on, kid, you know she's self-conscious. Why do you?
But like at the end, but before he does that, he
Hmm?
Did I cut out again?
again.
What the fuck is going on with my keyboard? I said that, right before that scene, he's like, if I do this and I go through with this, Roxy will leave and I'll never see her again. She'll probably pack her bags the next morning. And then he does it.
Yeah. Are we ready for cards?
I'd say so.
I'm gonna kill the show. Like, we might get the wheel today, but still.
Gilly, you want to go first or should I?
I mean, I'll go. Eh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill this show as well. I just, I actually, I thought it would be better, even with the beginning of the episode. I was hoping it'd be better than the first episode for me, and I'd like it more. But no, I just don't. The show just rubs me the wrong way.
Phrasing.
Just can't enjoy it.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm much like with Spider, I'm gonna fuck this episode. It's another tentative fuck, and it was really close to the knife point. I think what brought me around was Roxy's scene with his parents. No. What actually brought me around is that mainly due to like the main character actually giving me something to care about this episode. We finally got to see some interesting character depth. It doesn't excuse his behavior. I think I still highly dislike him. The only reason I'm going along with this is just to give the show one more chance to like really make a statement and be like, okay, what he was before was awful. He knows this, and now he's going to be a better person. But at least it's something, right? Like the ride through the village was really wholesome. Seeing how Roxy overcame the demon stigma helped him realize his stigma and how he literally became a child for a moment because he is an adult baby. He did nothing with himself and he was disgusting both because he was like miserable but also because just he didn't do anything, and what he had to go through as a fucking person in the real was awful and so sad. I don't want this to become revenge porn, but I want to give this show a chance to see what can come of this situation. I'm now willing to see where the show goes, at least for one more episode. If our main character continues to grow and like deal with his like fucking awful attitude and past traumas, I might stick around for this show. If he continues to be a disgusting, gross piece of shit, I'm out. Either way, I hope there's a nice time skip that ages him up by a good amount of years, because I am not here for literal child porn. And I'm sad to see Roxy go. She was a good character. I do hope she comes back and we get to see more of her personality. because she was interesting, and I'm hoping we get more of that. I don't think we are. I just need to give this show one more fair shake.
Dalaran, are you fucking this show so X-Arm doesn't have a chance to live?
No, I wrote down all of my votes as I watched the episodes. Jobless was actually the first anime I watched this week. I want to see what it does with the character, because if the next episode is just more ecche underage bullshit, I'm out.
Well,
Also, the
Alright,
art style
next
is
show.
super fucking pretty. Like, I say what you want about Jobless Reincarnation, the animation, the art is like really nice. It has this like earthy tones and like it's all very unsaturated, and I just really enjoy it.
I don't know if this is true, but I read somewhere that the lead art director is the same art director they used on Akudama.
Oh, huh.
No clue if that's true. I just was reading a review on my anime. Yeah, no,
Oh.
it was a really good choice to be the lead director of Akudama.
Actually, you remind me of something else. I saw one thing in the credits this episode. Arc System Works is involved with this show?
Is it?
I saw the Arc System logo at the end of the credits, and I mean, that's incredible if it is, because their ability to create 3D animation in the style of anime, cel-shaded anime, traditional animation, is unrivaled. So that's kind of exciting, but I couldn't find any information on it. I googled it and nothing came up, and I don't read Japanese, so I can't read the credits.
Fair. But our next show. Suppose a kid from the last dungeon boonies moved to a starter town. Episode 2. Lloyd, after failing the exam, wants to stay and take the exam next year, so he finds a part-time job. The recruiters and a couple of students look for him, but one gets into a fight with a noble. Lloyd shows up, and the noble gives him one free hit, but Marie abducts him. What do you two feel about this show?
I love our dumbass trio.
I really like this show, and I really like the the idiots three, like literal like captain, and then a princess that's obsessed with Lloyd, and then our thief.
They're great. This show's humor is fantastic. I was laughing multiple times. Like the fucking 8-bit, not even maybe, sound effect of the grasshopper getting one-shotted by fucking Lloyd, little Link Lloyd, when he's reading the job application, just like took me back to like the NES era of sound effects, or the Super Nintendo era of sound effects. It's
The running gag with the grasshoppers, the locusts, not grasshoppers, giant locusts.
uh-huh.
I'm okay with it, but I don't. I hope they doesn't keep doing that too much, because I will start getting tired of it.
I'm already tired of it. When the third one appeared this episode, I'm like, okay.
They did it. They did it too many times in one episode. Is the big thing.
The show has really nice character design, but like, do you not have any other monsters? Like, what's up? Also, these are considered like dangerous monsters. Why are they in this city?
Are you guys
I'm
still not getting? Oh,
sure.
sorry. Are you guys
What?
still not getting the Saya vibes from Belt Princess?
No.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't feeling entirely strong in this episode.
Meep, stop
I'm like-
making background sounds. Keep talking, but just stop rustling.
There was no rustling. It was only me talking.
No, someone is pulling out like a bag of chips or something. I'm
I
onto you.
was gonna say, I guess me talking is back. Bye,
Fuck
everyone.
you. I'm sorry. No, come back, Meep. We need you.
I wasn't feeling entirely strong on this episode. I didn't laugh like I did in episode 1. I don't know, it didn't have charm like the First episode did for me, and then I kind of actively felt robbed when Marie stole him away from punching the noble.
I mean, the noble was gonna fucking die. Me.
Good. Good riddance to him. I actively don't care about him.
Yeah, I mean, true. True. He's mean to Princess. I mean, I get it. Like, I think Princess. I'm not. This is my Kuma Bear. This show is my Kuma Bear. I'm not taking it seriously. This is the Kuma Bear of this season for me.
I mean, the first time he was a dick to her in episode 1, he was being a dick. In this episode, she ripped the chest hairs off of a man.
Because he was trying to, like, fucking hit on her and lead her in an alleyway. Good. Fuck that guy. I mean, don't fuck him. He's a creep.
Arguing against that, it's just like his anger towards her and his behavior towards her this time around was more along the lines of, I get you can't really do that. It's not okay.
Nah, fuck him. Don't fuck him. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, wasn't entirely sold on this episode, and I put in my notes, and I'm still feeling this way. If I'm still feeling this way when I watch the episode, which did come out today, I'm not gonna watch it yet though, because we're in the middle of it. Hey, I'm gonna watch it after this, and if I'm still feeling the same way, next episode might get the knife from me. I don't know. I'm just wasn't entirely thrilled with this episode.
So you holding up cards?
Are you two ready to hold up cards?
I mean, no, but you already threw the gauntlet down, so go ahead.
I didn't throw the gauntlet down. I just said that I was not entirely thrilled with this episode.
Yeah. I feel like you feel about this show the way I felt about Jobless and Spider. It's just like on the verge. I enjoyed this show, man. I got a good kick out of it. Marie is not 15. Get the fuck out. She is not 15. She doesn't behave like she's 15. She doesn't look like she's 15. That being said, also Marie's a fucking I can't tell if I enjoy her character or not, because sometimes I enjoy her and sometimes I think she's so obnoxious.
The things that
Yes.
happen.
Oh yeah, and the curse of moderate misfortunes.
When that scene played out, did anyone else think she broke her legs until she went cramp?
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was literally showing like her snapping her leg in half. I'm like, that's not moderate.
No, I didn't. I didn't really see it as that, only because they said moderate. There's no way that breaking her leg would be moderate.
Also, Marie's walking down the street. Marie checks to see if she is being watched. Lloyd is watching her. She did not notice him watching her. Marie sucks at perception rolls.
Marie sucks in general. Robbed us of a good scene.
No, I get it. Homie was about to kill a dude.
I get it, but it felt so unsatisfying for me.
That's
Tried
the
to
point.
stop him from causing a scene.
Everyone was felt unsatisfied by it. That's the point. That's the joke, Meep.
I know, but still, didn't enjoy it.
Look, Meep, you can't just let the 15-year-old boy murder someone.
Why not? We have juvenile hall for a reason.
You can't let the 15-year-old boy murder someone. This is not Dead Man Wonderland.
Without the criminals, the police officers don't have jobs.
Get the fuck out.
I fucking love that defense. Just a guy in court. Without me, you don't have a job, to the judge.
It's fucking prison industry complex. Anyway, yeah, no, I do think this show is. It made me uncomfortable twice. One with like Gilly said, the grasshoppers. That joke has gotten old for me. And two, like with the royal guard dude, like the dude's a fucking dumbass and not in a funny way. And the one thing I didn't like about this episode, it was mostly everyone screaming "Where's Lloyd" for the majority of the episode, and I didn't like that. It was obnoxious. I thought it was just like, okay, we get it, we fucking get it. Like I replayed the opening scene with all of them in class looking around, and then the mercenary bandit girl being like, Melfun, what is the meaning of this? Where is he? And then she looks to the captain dude, and he's also looking around, confused and panicked. Where the fuck Lloyd, and why wasn't he accepted? And they all just lose their shit together. I thought that was amazing. And then the guard captain did it, and then they kept doing it for the whole episode, and it was just the same gag, the whole
What
shtick.
what I want to know regarding his failure. So they failed him for the written part because he wrote fucking ancient runes. And they
Which,
thought it was just fucking doodles,
Yep.
which is a whole weird thing by itself. But I want to know how he failed the martial arts part.
mm,
Because he specifically said he failed both.
Yep. I don't get it.
And I want to know how he failed that part. Like that one they didn't explain. I'm very curious as to what the deal is with that one.
probably the way you said last week.
Yeah, I'll continue to hold my theory about that where he just fucking just broke his sword in half or some shit.
Mm, it's
I'm
very
ready to
possible.
hold cards.
Very well. I'll fuck this show. I'll fuck this episode. I hope it picks up for me by next time, but hey, who knows?
Meep, are you eating right now?
No, why?
Because there's a lot of rustling coming from you. It sounds like either you're laying down or you're working with stuff.
This time I stood up, but that's just so I can stretch.
All right. Um, I'm I'm gonna fuck this show too. I'm still not entirely sure what this show wants to be. Like this episode, Meep, come on, man. Meep, stop.
What?
That's not cool. You realize your microphone's picking up background sounds, right? That's not good for the listeners, my dude. Like I've said it 3 times right now.
Hmm?
Anyway, I don't know what the show wants to be. This episode didn't go how I expected it, and I don't really understand what's happening in the show. But I'm having fun and laughing, and that's enough for me. So it gets the fuck.
It gets the fuck.
It gets the fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck this show too. I just like it in general. It's nice, it's pleasant, it's fun to watch. Uh I really hope the Locust thing doesn't continue because it like it was if they only had it happen once, I would not be tired of it, but they did it too many times in one episode. Like if it was a recurring gag once per episode, I could actually tolerate that. But it wasn't once per episode. It was quite um just a lot in this episode.
Yeah. I just in the first episode I said that I was worried that it's gonna run low with its gags. Like you're you just like Lloyd's personality is gonna just stay this and it's gonna become stagnant, and that's the biggest threat to the show for me, is that the show is just a one-trick pony and it's just gonna have the same joke over and over again, which would be a shame because I think this show has a lot of charm.
It does. It's I just I like it.
Oh, we're echoing off of me. All right, you were saying?
I mean, I said it. I like this show. I just like this show.
Yeah, yeah, it's
A lot of
enjoyable.
the time I can't even. A lot of the time I can't even like pinpoint why I like this show. I just like it. It's pleasant.
Do you think it's going to be this season's Kuma 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 Bear for us?
Probably for me, yeah. Just because I like with Kuma Bear, I can't give a reason why I enjoy it because I don't really know myself.
I think that's what they in the business call Stockholm syndrome, Gilly.
Maybe I felt this way after the first episode. That's not Stockholm syndrome.
I mean, it's held you for at least a week, so.
But it didn't though. It only held me for all of 24 minutes and that was it. Didn't even hold me. I voluntarily walked in and had some tea and biscuits.
Well,
You know,
a
they
show that. Oh,
they just give
sorry.
me a good feeling.
Well, our next show on this list, Idly Pride, episode 2. Mana's little sister and a street kid audition for Idol. We learn Kotono has a rocky relationship with Mana when she was an idol, and the girls move to the dorms and meet the other idols. This episode did not piss me off like the last one did, but it was boring. Also, the singing is the exact same from episode 1. They literally just took the exact audio file and put it over the other girl, and while Mana's little sister was her like a new singer singing it, it's still the same song.
They did that, huh?
I even went back to check the first episode because the whole thing of, oh, you sounded just like Mana. Yeah, because they just took Mana's audio file and put it over you.
Oh, that's kind of shit. I don't like that.
I don't either. I don't like this show. This episode had one good scene, but then I remembered, oh wait, that's not what this show is because she's a ghost.
I was gonna say, like, I was gonna make the whole joke of, like, oh my god, is that actual music and singing in my Idol anime? But now that you told me that they just reused the music from the episode 1, that dampers my spirits.
It's because it's the same song, and while there's one new person singing it, it sounds almost identical to Mana's singing in the first when it comes to the orange-haired girl. Also, why did they let her in? Is there not
Right?
security here?
Right? What the fuck? So they just
Like, what if she
interrupt.
was one of the bombers from X-Arm?
Yeah, so they just fucking interrupt the audition, and this ditzy girl walks in and starts asking questions randomly, and everyone's just fucking okay with it. And then I realized, oh, Sakura's crazy. Like, she's fucking crazy. Okay. But yeah.
Which they still shouldn't let her in. One day she's falling her heart to an idol audition. The other day she's falling her heart to getting a sniper and perching atop a building.
Jesus Christ, me.
She is dangerous.
No, but we agree that Sakura's fucking nuts, right?
Yes, one day she woke up being able to sing. The next day she woke up wanting to fucking cap some ass.
She's cute.
This episode turned me around on the show.
Okay. Tell us why.
I wasn't that into it. I actually was into it now.
Tell us why.
I can't with this show. It is God. Like, it is both the most infuriating thing I've watched with episode 1, and now it's the most boring thing I've watched with episode 2. Like, it bored me more than it. Like, here's the thing. Whereas Kuma Bear, I hated it. At least I felt something when I was watching it. Then there was Ikebukuro Westgate Park, where I felt nothing. This is like Ikebukuro for me this week. I felt nothing while watching it.
What is happening over where you are right now, Meep?
That one was my cat meowing.
Okay.
Hello, kitty.
I don't know. This episode was weird. I really didn't like the first half. I don't like her sister. I don't like her attitude. I thought it was because she blamed protagonist boy for her sister's death, but she didn't even know that he was her manager. She just came in acting like hot shit because I mean I get it, right? Like I guess now that I'm saying it out loud, I do kind of get it. There was a really nice sad scene. Meep, you got to do something with your audio, man. Turn up your
That's the
sensitivity.
cat. I can't
Turn
get
up
the
your
cat out of
sensitivity.
here.
That's not okay. I don't know how many times I got to say it, but like, um, I know her personality is like based in a lot of trauma, and that scene of her thinking back to her sister, like what happened with between the two of them, was just in. It was really sad. Like I actually teared up like when I was watching her reflect and how like I got where they were going with it, right? Where it's like, oh, like my sister isn't hanging out with me more. Her priority is, her idol career. Like I don't even feel like I have a sister anymore who I was close to, and that creates a rift in siblings. But you know, that scene where she's like, "Hey, mom told me like you feel like we don't have, you don't like we're not getting close," and she like yells at her, and she turns around and it cuts off. It doesn't actually tell you what she says, but you can assume that she says like, if I knew this meant you becoming an idol, I wish you never would have became an idol. And before she could say that, that's what I assume she said. It cuts off to the rainy day and her getting the phone call while holding her pillow that her sister's dead. And I knew the pillow was gonna drop, but the pillow dropped, and it got an emotional reaction out of me. I was like, "Fuck, that's."
That is part of what like has turned me around on this is like they really I think they really like they the synopsis and description of the show talks about like the darkness of everything, and I think they played into that a lot more in a really good way. Like I don't know, I enjoyed how they went about things.
Yeah, I think the second half of this episode was really good. I completely agree with you, Meep. Like the first half is like super fucking unprofessional. Like the sister is still there. Why is she like still listening to someone else's audition? Why does this girl just to fucking walk in and just get in it? Like what is happening? I get it. She has Mana's voice.
Disconnected from reality, and then there's the whole ghost aspect, and there's going to be way too many fucking characters. God, we see like how many in the opening? I like God
I'm
help me.
still I'm still like iffy on the ghost or not
I still
deal with
think he's fucking
this
crazy.
because the thing is anytime she could have told him something that only she would know, she disappears,
Mm-hmm.
so he doesn't get any more information other than what's directly thrown at him or what he already knows, and that almost feels like a setup for, and he's the only one that sees her. It really is feeling more heavy to me like a setup that she's not a ghost, this is trauma,
Yeah,
and
it's the
this is him
projection of
trying to
his
deal.
grief. Yeah, you can't see me, but I was nodding the whole time we were talking, Gilly.
Like
Yeah,
they it feels like they're setting that up. Like it seems like certain things are making it lean that direction. Maybe I'm fucking wrong, and they're pulling the double switcheroo. I don't fucking know, but it feels like it's a manifestation of trauma.
Whether it is or not, I don't. It feels like the show is trying to have its cake and eat it too. It doesn't want to kill this character, so they make her into a ghost so she can still be here and be a part of everything. But it's her little sister who I'm not unconvinced it's the exact same model. Like I swear they just used the same fucking model. I don't
well,
know, but
it's animation, so it wouldn't be. I mean, they have to be similar for familial references, but like, it's not the same. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. They do look really similar. Mana's hair is lighter.
on top of that, I don't care about the characters except for the main guy. I don't really like. I liked the scene that you guys were talking about earlier with the sad sister. I just don't like her attitude, and I don't like the sister in general.
Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
that was a nice scene. Wish we could have got something like that with at least something more not delved into. Delved into is the wrong word, but something better like that with Makino. Like because what they were doing with episode 1 with Makino was good until
At
the
least they're
ghost
not
showed up.
at least they're not like heavily sexualizing our idols.
True, true. Especially because Sakura is well endowed in the chest, so I'm hoping we don't see that.
Yeah, they didn't even they made they made no titty joke,
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, this.
which is a step up from what we dealt with before.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere is up from fucking rotten fruit tart.
Are we
Which
ready for
also
cards?
that's not Fruit Tart's not getting any more episodes. That everything they did there was actually the entirety of their light novel series.
Good riddance. Before we hold up cards, there's one more thing I want to say about the show. It's pretty. This is a pretty show. It doesn't do a lot with its animation, but there's the studio that does it cares about its environments enough to like establish them properly. The models and the characters look nice. I really like how they highlight everyone's eyes, and their like irises and pupils. And in particular, the letter transition scene when the sister got the letter of acceptance and the way like she pulled out the letter in the mailbox and then it cut like it just the scene transitioned to the letter being already opened in a sunlit room. There was just something about that particular scene that I thought was like really really pretty. I really liked it.
Do we have a name for the manager that isn't the main guy?
Oh, you mean the big manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep calling him Mr. Sasuga, but I know it's not Sasuga, it's something else.
They said his name. I don't remember what it was.
I'm looking it up right now.
I don't remember what he did, but he said something that pissed me off, so fuck that guy. Oh, right, I remember what it was. He said, "Why should I care?" when they were talking about the other idol's death. Fuck that guy.
That,
Shinji
so we tried talking about the
Segusa.
darkness and the reality. Meep, you were actually bringing that up last time that would be how the idol industry would actually act.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. I'm not saying I'm upset that they're doing that. I'm just saying fuck that guy. He's
Oh,
an asshole.
okay.
I actually like him, but fuck that guy.
Yeah, they straight up say like the idol industry is no joke, and then they play it off as a joke.
Yeah.
Shall we hold up cards?
Yeah.
I wonder what my card is gonna be. You
I'll
guys go first.
first. I'm gonna fuck this show because I was not sure about it before, and now I actually like it. It's just, I don't know. It did everything a lot better this time. Made a good experience for me.
Um, I'm gonna fuck this show too. This week is a lot of like tentative fucks. Um, and this is just another one of those. This isn't like super enthusiastic. I'm not like, yeah, idly pride. I'm still not 100% sold on this show. Like, I fully understand where Meep is coming from with everything that he's saying. I'm just not quite there as much as he is. Uh, I like Sakura, despite her being crazy. The singing is nice too, though. After Meep told me they just reused the audio from episode 1 and a different character at that.
You died again.
God damn, what is wrong with my. Okay, well, anyway. I'm gonna have to fiddle around with my technology today. Today is a technical difficulty day. Shit happens. Anyway, if this show continues to delve into characters and like the character relationships, I think I will enjoy it. But I'm still not sure what to expect from the show, and the first half of this episode was really weak. So I'm gonna give this a fuck because now that we have our ensemble, we have all these idol girls. I want to see what they do with it.
Why do you two do this to me?
Because we like Moe and we like idols.
This isn't even Moe. This is just. Can't believe we're gonna have 10 shows survive till the end this season.
What do you mean X-Arm is fucking dead?
Well, we have one last show on our docket. Horimiya, episode 2. This episode ended up being 3 small stories where Hori wanted to know Miyamura's name, Hori being taken advantage of by the student council, and Miyamura giving Hori a gift for her birthday. So Hori's mom was horny for Miyamura, right?
I think Hori's mom is just happy that her daughter has a friend and a boyfriend.
Okay.
And yes, she was horny for Hinamura. For
Yes.
Miyamura.
That's fair. That's valid. She was coming off really strong, and
I liked her mom. I thought her mom was like a really sweet addition.
her mom was great, but I was getting some
Ara vibes.
Killing me vibes.
I love this show so much.
Me too.
It's literally Skate, Horimiya, Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think for me right now it's I can't I can't answer this. I can't answer this question. It all depends how Wonder Egg does next episode.
I love this show so much though. Everything about it. It's so cute. It's so nice.
I really like it.
The way he did what he did with the student council president. They're blaming her for losing the budget report, and they're not angry, they just want an apology. And he has it. He could just say, here's the budget report, but he grabs the guy by the tie and headbutts him and then holds it up.
After giving after giving the purple hair boy his bag and giving him his glasses, and the moment he did it, I'm like, oh shit, are we gonna throw down? Is Miyamura about to fucking deck a bitch? And yeah, he straight up walks up to him and headbutts him.
I thought that's when they were gonna have the shorter girl recognize him.
Yeah, I hated Remy. I thought Remy sucks. I dislike her a lot.
Why? I'm wondering why. I like her.
I don't dislike Remy myself, but I think what is it to say? It seems like she's one of those people that's just she's not very smart.
No.
She doesn't have many talents. She's very forgetful.
She's
clumsy.
Hot. That's her thing. She's really pretty.
She's like a blonde joke, but red-haired.
I mean, fucking look at this. Look at this creature on the board right now. I thought the scene where she like realized she fucked up and like fell on her like went to like a little fetal position sitting upright and like started crying like I'm sorry. I thought it was cute, but it only made me realize that like this whole time she didn't even consider that this was her fault. Like she just thinks that she's above it all. And her
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Hori's blonde friend.
What? No, Yuki's great. I love Yuki.
Okay,
because she's one of the best characters.
Yeah, that's who I meant. I'm surprised she didn't recognize Miyamura there. And
no.
then you said, "Oh, well, I hate her." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
I love Yuki. Yuki is my best girl, but yeah, I don't like Remy. I think Remy sucks.
I don't know. I feel like Remy.
It's like her. I just think she's kind of. I think she's just kind of dumb and simple.
And I'm going to say something controversial right now.
Yes.
I don't really like Hori. I don't think she's that great. I
dare you.
I dislike Remy. I actually dislike Remy. I think she sucks. But Hori's kind of terrible too. Like, let me make my case. Hold on. Chat, YouTube comments, my fellow hosts. I respect her hardworking nature, and she cares about her family, and she goes beyond, light years beyond what someone her age should be expected to do. And I respect her, and I love her hardworking nature, but she is not that nice a person. She puts herself in positions that make her life hard for herself, and then she continues to abuse Miyamura. I do not like her being tsundere, and I do not like her being violent toward him. I know it's meant to be humor, but I don't really find it funny.
We also saw she was a big bully to council president.
Yeah, she was. That's when I really realized this. Like, she was really mean to she was like Toradora toward Council President Boy.
And she didn't even
I
realize she was doing anything wrong until he told her.
I don't really take any of the things she does with Miyamura in an even slightly violent light, because it always is almost immediately followed with laughter. Almost every single time. It's very playful.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
I disagree that she's abusive to Miyamura. It's just I don't like her. Like I do like how she was like, wait, what do kids our age listen to? Like, I can't believe I'm a weeb.
I my
Because
little
yeah,
brother
because the
made me a
outside,
weeb.
like, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't do the things all everyone does. She goes home. She attends to her responsibilities and does that, and that's it. Pays attention to her grades.
Yeah,
I
and
I don't dislike Hori. I think they're very cute together. I do ship them. I love their dynamic. I think they're funny together. The show's amazing. I think the humor is so good. It's so on point. I laughed so many times this episode. Like, actually laughed out loud. Like, I loved this episode. I just really don't like the whole tsundere girlfriend, not girlfriend, being physically violent because she's not able to deal with her emotions toward her male partner or other partner. I don't like that. I never found it funny. I know it's an anime thing. It's just a cultural difference that it's something I never really enjoyed. I think it wouldn't be funny if it was a guy doing it to a girl. It's not funny if it's a girl doing it to a guy. That's literally my only complaint this episode. Everything else is just amazing, and I'm looking at my notes, and at the very end it says, "Ugh, just date already, you two, because you're fucking incredible."
I mean,
Like,
they're
it's
already taking
gonna,
care of a child.
it's good. Oh, that moment with her little brother, where they were talking about, like, you know, Hori's like thinking about, like, that someday Mimura won't come around anymore, and the little brother keeps calling him Big Bro, and he's like, "Well, when's that gonna happen?"
I think, and even the little,
Oh my
I think the little
god.
brother, I think the little brother is the best character in the show. If he wasn't there, Hori would actually be much worse. But I think the little brother is just adorable and might be my favorite.
Miyamura
It's
is my
just
favorite.
oh god, it's so good.
My favorite scene with the little brother, though, was during my favorite scene in this episode, period, was when she finally gets his name and she like has like a fucking anxiety attack, and she's just like, "I bet you don't know my name," and he's like, "Uh, Hori," and she's like, "I'm a fucking
I,
dumbass," and then the little brother's like, "You're stupid, sis," and I'm like, "You're the best."
I was hoping that his name would be something that isn't actually super Japanese. I was hoping his name would be Tristan. I'm not gonna lie.
My voice gives me, "Hey, Toru, can you hold my bag? My voice gives me super strength." Tristan in
Just
anime will forever be associated to Tristan Taylor from Yu-Gi-Oh! Fight me.
I just I don't know. I I love this show so much. It's just all the interactions and their relationship and just everything.
Yeah, I really like this show too.
This It's hard to talk about this show without going into all the details because it is as the still shows right now. It is obviously a character driven show. Hi, my what I really enjoy, and it's the little charms and nuances and little intricate things that happens between characters that I really 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 like. And I like the student council being our villains of the anime.
I do like how they like because it was a nice subversion of expectations when they're like, oh yeah, the red haired guy, he yells at his girlfriend a lot, and his girlfriend like Nissa's pink haired lolly is just like in the ball, like the fucking What's the anime about the gremlin that wears like the fucking like the onesie? Not Kuma Bear, it's a different bear onesie anime. God,
Oh, you
there's
mean the
two
fucking
bear ones.
little fucking orange thing? Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
she reminded me of her in that moment when she got into
Yeah,
the fetal position.
you're right.
And
Yeah, it's the big globby wet crying eyes, the tear eyes. I think it's really
Now,
cute.
there's one thing. Dalaran, please show my one screenshot from Orimeter.
Okay, yeah. I'll put it up for you right now.
Just
I
it's just like a it's just like an ending thing with this. It's just a little thing with a student council president seeing Miyamura afterwards, and he starts just panicking. He calls him sir.
The line delivery in that scene is amazing because what's his name? Miyamura just walks in and casually I mean, he doesn't like him. He does not like the president at all. Like he it's interesting because I think they had similar lifestyles, but the president now is kind of like, I think my what I think is going to happen. My prediction is that the president is running away with his power, and Miyamura doesn't like that. But he just comes in and is like, "Good morning, President," and just like he doesn't he says it casually. He's like, "Oh, good morning, President," and upon hearing his voice say "good" before even morning, the president is just like terrified and turns around and just screams, "Good morning, sir!"
I was expecting the one glasses girl to go to get down Mr. President him. Or would that be his girlfriend that would do that?
Remy doesn't do shit. So
It's so weird hearing her be called Remy because now I'm just picturing Twink Remy.
his name. Okay, fine. Would you prefer us? What's her name? Ayasaki.
Because now I'm just picturing Twink Remy Birdman, just sitting there. I
God
don't
damn it.
like that image in my head.
But yeah, no, it's just the line delivery of like, "Oh hiya." I don't know how do you say president in Japanese. It like school. There's a specific name for like student body president, but he's like, "Oh hiya, president," and he just turns around terrified, like literally, like the color leaves his face. "Oh hiya, gozaimasu," and I'm just like, that's so good. It's the humor in this show is great. It's. Can we hold up cards? I can go first if you all don't
Yeah.
mind.
You go first?
The humor in the show is so great. This show is fantastic in so many of its own ways. It looks great. The animations, the expressions, like it. I love it. The jokes land. The nuance between characters. This is like it's fantastic. This is what slice of life should be. There's silly moments, there are funny moments, there are real moments, there are sweet moments. We didn't talk about it this episode, but we still got those emotional scenes between Miyamura and Hori where everything goes white and they have these color outline shadows to them as their heartbeat. It's great. I love it. Don't like the physical violence. I already talked about that. Don't need to go into it more, but the pacing felt like it slightly fell through a few times in the episode, but otherwise I really enjoyed this episode. It gets an enthusiastic fuck from me. The student council kind of sucks, but I know there is more going on there. And I'm just ready to see where I want to see all these stories. Like, until Meep, I didn't realize it until you said it, but yeah, you're right. There was like 2-3 stories, mini stories in this episode, and I am so here for this.
It's
I
because
I am looking forward to seeing more. I'm glad we're getting more Hira and Mura, but like the ensemble is starting to come together. I think we're missing like a few more characters, which will probably be introduced in the next episode. But come on, give it to me. I like how they do it. It's more or less organic. All the interactions are more or less organic, or at least they feel natural. And give me my character drama. I'm here for this. More.
this is this is where I sort of like. I don't get me wrong. I'm very enthusiastic and I love the show too. I just hope we see because this show very well might not get character development or anything. Which I guess if it's not what the show is, it's not what the show is. But I do hope we see character development. But this feels, from what we saw with this episode, this feels like it's gonna be more of an episode of the week sort of deal. Like, and that might be how the manga is written out too. I don't know. Out. Wait, is this based off a light novel or a manga?
Let me check real quick.
Because I think each
Manga.
chapter might be its own story.
Manga.
It's still going.
Really?
Yes, still releasing new chapters. I
Nice.
found that out the other day, which just makes me really happy.
Judging by the manga covers, episode 1 was volume 1 and 2, and this was volume 3.
Do you
So
mean chapter or actual volume?
I'm just judging by their covers because the first volume is Hiramori, Horimiya, and then the second volume is Toru and Yuki, blonde girl, and then volume 3 is the student body. It's President, Green Girl, and Remy.
How many chapters are in one of those volumes? Because that
I
doesn't sound right.
I don't
An
know.
entire volume an episode is like 10 chapters adapted into one episode. That this would have felt way too rushed if it
Oh,
was.
I'm bad at mangas and I don't do the mangoes as much because to me it's more time consuming because I like to look through every panel. So I could be absolutely fucking wrong. I'm just judging by the volume covers because they're at the way that characters were introduced. I could be completely off base. Full disclaimer.
Okay. I'm gonna fuck this episode too. It was really light and fluffy. Though something that, Hori said, he can't keep coming over forever. Someday it's gonna stop. And you know what? That's an apt description of how I'm feeling about this show. I'm enjoying the show in the now, but I can't always come to this show. There might be a time where I've had my fill, and that we're not at that yet. And I don't know when we'll get there, but there's going to be a time when I won't be able to come to the show anymore. Not the FMK, not the FMK. I'm talking about Horimiya. Just full disclosure, I'm always going to be here. I am the host.
I can see that show not going like the only I
Don't you
mean
ever say that about this show?
we have a mixed bag, don't we, this season, huh? Like there's a couple of shows that we are like unanimously in love with. And then there's a bunch of shows we're kind of on. And X Arms is fucking dead.
Other than X-Arm, I don't think you or Gilly have killed a single thing.
I'm
I don't know
hesitant
what
to
you're
like.
talking about.
No, Gilly killed something.
I stabbed
Whoa,
something.
cells at work. Cells at work. Sorry, listen, my mind only processes Jujutsu Kaisen and forward, okay?
Do we want to move Jujutsu Kaisen to the end of the season, to the end of the episode? Because it's kind of not fair to talk about it in while everything else is just starting off. What do you guys think about that?
I think it should be opened with, if anything.
What do you think, chat? Drop a those of you guys watching us live, let us know what you think. Otherwise, hop in the comments on YouTube or on Discord because I felt like the pacing when we started talking about Jujutsu Kaisen is like we're talking about an old friend, and here we are talking about a bunch of new relationships, and new shows, new series. So I feel like it needs to be either at the beginning or at the end. It can't be in the middle.
I'd prefer beginning, because like last season, if it was at the end, I'd start going crazy. Imagine if we had to wait 10 shows to talk about episode 12 of
Yeah,
Jujutsu.
see.
I would have fucking blew up.
Yeah, but then, what if you use up all your energy talking about Jujutsu in the beginning? And yeah, Chad,
I
huge.
never use up all my energy.
Fair enough. Yeah, Gilly's
What are you
character's
asking?
amazing. We made anime history with this banner, guys. Thank you, everyone, and huge shout out again to Death to Reality, the wonderful person behind this art, this amazing banner. You can follow them and catch them at Twitter, the other T site, Twitter, Death to Reality with a 3 instead of an E in the reality. Their commissions are open, and it's really fun working with you on this, and I look forward to continuing to do so. But yeah, no, in terms of the show, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Just don't. Also, you say that I might exhaust all my energy talking about Jujutsu. I talked about Adachi Toshimamura more than any other show last season. I did. I would always have energy left for Jujutsu.
But yeah, just something to consider moving forward. Yeah, but like this winter season, I strongly feel like we have less. Like, I feel like fall was such a strong season. I do feel like this is a weaker season, but damn it all if there aren't a few shows here that I am just so into.
Look, the thing is, the legitimately, I like much more shows this season than I did last season. This is a
Fair enough.
much stronger season for me.
I mean, let's see. What are we feeling good about right now, guys? I personally really like Skate, Horimiya, um, Wonder Egg is just, I don't know whether it's a shining light or a black hole. I have no idea. Um, and I like Boonies. Boonies is great. Boonies is going to be my Kuma Bear. Talking about it with you guys today, I really think that's where we're going to be. Gilly, I don't want to take your answers for you, but like I know Skate and Horimiya are right up there for you.
Just everything except Jobless and Cells at Work at this point.
Really? Oh, okay, okay.
I like a lot of what's here. That's why it's gonna be a harder season for me because I like basically everything.
I think the absence of Adachi to Shimomura allows you to
It
allows you to
allows me to
indulge a bit
actually
more.
feel happy,
Dell, if
even
you
if
don't
just for
want
a
us to,
moment.
Dell, if you don't want us to be watching 8 a week, you might have to get a bit more free with your knives.
I I want
I
to give it
look,
3 episodes.
Idly Pride is going to be one that's going to be on the fence for me, even though I do really like where it turned itself back around. That will be on the fence for me multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I am
I'm
sure of that.
I'm trepidatious of Jobless, of
And so I'm a
Spider.
spider. So I'm a spider is going to die, even though I really like it.
Yeah.
I don't see that bringing either of you back.
I'm just hoping we get a few wheels this season. We only got one last season. I'm hoping we get a couple this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think this is my grace week. We will see how the yeah, we just have to wait and see how the rest of the season plays out. I'm trepidatious about Jobless. I'm trepidatious about Spider, Idly Pride.
No,
Uh,
every week I know what I do know is I'm waiting for Horimiya and I'm waiting for Skate, and Jujutsu Kaisen has been a consistent thing that I'll just keep waiting for.
yeah. What about you, Meep? What are you excited for about this season?
Take a fucking guess.
That's not Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
There's gonna we're gonna we'll be
Thanks.
honest. There's gonna be some heated debates at the award ceremony between me and Meep between Jujutsu Kaisen and Skate.
Definitely, it's gonna be interesting because I fucking listen. I still loved this episode. Itadori in the funeral frame is straight out of the manga, and it's hilarious.
No.
Just him sitting there. Can I take this off yet? No. Think about what you've done.
Yeah. No.
There's,
You're being punished.
there's gonna be some heated debates between those two shows because I am like really into Skate.
Now, question: is Gojo still eligible to be best character this season, or is he automatically written off because he isn't, or because he won it last time?
No. No. Heavens no. Let him stay.
He can win it again.
Okay, I just
I
want I
I
just
I,
want
I
that
will
to be
say I will say with this season I think there's going to be some more stiff competition in that category.
Yeah. Just looks over to Skate and all the husbandos.
it also depends how it also depends how active Gojo is in this season because I want to judge him just on the basis of how he's used in this core alone.
I'm glad you said that because that's what I was going to bring up. Like, please, but just make sure to judge the characters in this season, not from their first half. Also, now that we're talking about this, Skate is an all guy roster. Like, there are no skateboarders that are female.
Well, they show a businesswoman. I'm assuming that's going to be Mr. Dio's wife or something like that.
Right, there
Showed
was
her
that
in
one scene. There was that one scene with a woman being like this new prodigy rookie, and then she sees Langa
well,
eat shit.
that's not the same. That's not the same girl in the opening. In the opening, it's like this red-haired, like scarlet red hair, kind of looking like Urza from Fairy Tale.
Okay, I'll have to see it. I think I haven't registered her yet because I haven't seen her. But yeah, dude, Skate to Infinity is literally husbando buffet. Like you have literally a guy for everyone's taste. You have the pretty femboy, you have you have the delicate like bishojo boy. You have Beefcake Joe. You have spunky protag Reiki. You have quiet pretty boy Langa. You have cat boy if you prefer a more feminine kind of younger character. You have whatever the fuck Dio and Shadow are. Oh no, I feel bad for saying that. I like Shadow. No, I
Shadow
made
is
myself sad.
Shadow has done so much more for himself by just showing his other side.
I'm excited for this season, guys.
I am too. But guys, X-Arm is fucking dead.
Thank God. Gilly, if you had voted to fuck X-Arm, I don't know. I
Funny wheel.
No,
I
I would.
don't think I don't think you hold that much resentment for us for Adachi Toshimomura.
You don't know how much resentment I hold.
I just don't think. I don't think I could like see you as an equal in this show anymore. If you said no, I think I see something here.
Didn't you? I thought I could swear you said the same thing when I didn't when I kept watching King's Raid and Fruit Tart.
No, X Arms is worse. X Arms is X Arms is an experience of just badness. Because, I mean, Gilly, you caught what we were doing when you were like, uh, when you're like, Gilly, what's your vote? Oh no, actually, I think I'm gonna no, fuck this show, kill it, dead. Oops, I think I desynced. Oh no, I'm still here. Cool. Anyway, guys, shall we wrap up for the day?
E.
Cool, awesome. Well, Meep, take it away.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, I am Meep. This has been Meep. This has been the show. It was very fun doing this today. I am going to post Discord link in the chat because people should join our Discord so they can get involved in the discussions and everything in the Discord.
Yeah,
Shout at
come.
us about how our opinions on anime are bad and terrible.
Or how much you agree with us and that Hori needs to stop abusing Miura.
You stop that.
No.
See, they
Shout
yelled
at
at
us.
me just now.
Tell us
I
that
will yell at you. Stop talking down. But my girl, my show.
tell us how much you think Jujutsu Kaisen is worse than Black Clover, and Black Clover is much better than Jujutsu Kaisen. Just shout at that to me. Just come into my DMs and shout that at me. You know that's the best way to get me to like you.
I mean, I do really like Black Clover and One Piece.
Yeah,
Listen,
and
I expect it from you. No, I know. I already know you like those.
Meep, where can they find you?
They can find me at soul_king777 on Twitter, where I shout about my OC and how cute lesbians are. You can also find us at FMK Anime on Twitter. Yeah. Where can they find you, Dalaron?
You can find me here, still questioning if your constant bantering on cute lesbians qualifies as sexualization or fetishizing, or not. But actually,
They're just cute. I'm not saying everyone should be one. They're just cute, okay?
You can catch me on here on twitch.tv/DalaronQuest. That's DALARON Quest. Mondays, we got our FMK Anime. Hey, everyone. Tuesdays, we're doing D&D. I decided to finally do a D&D podcast or like a D&D session. It's fun, it's super casual, it's super roleplay and character interaction and like social simulation heavy. So if that's your cup of tea and you just like seeing people roleplay and act their characters in scenes, come through. Otherwise, I put out a voice reel. Check it out. YouTube, Dalaran, Dennis D, character reel, voice demo reel. Please give it a look, give it a share. Honestly, that would help so much. Yeah, we play video games sometimes on this channel too. I lost my hearing a week and a half ago, so I haven't really been on as much in my left ear because of my left ear, but we're trying to get through. And I'll just take this moment, Gilly, before you plug yourself. Thank you for everyone who came through. Kermit21, thank you for the cheers. Thank you for the bits. Much appreciated. Let's see, we had a couple of follows that I want to shout out. Gillywad, G. Willikers, thank you for the follow. Next Train 28 and the Dark Omen, thank you guys for the follow so much as well. Skelaskull and Ray Takashi, thank you guys for the follows. I'm glad you guys came through and enjoy the show. It means a lot that you guys enjoy this, and this is a good time. I'm having a good time despite my medical issues right now.
Join the Discord.
Join
What?
the Discord.
Tell tell them to join the Discord.
I'm getting a message from our host saying to join the Discord.
A message from the beyond.
What about you, Gilly? Do you have anything you want to plug today?
Next week on FMK Anime, we're gonna give 3 knives to Meep, and we will be down one host. Every week, one less
no.
host. The show won't last very long.
Oh god.
I've been Gilly. I need to fry some chicken. That is my plug.
Excellent. Gilly, your little creature frog alien Pompadour Giast man is amazing. I love him. And on that
Yes.
note, bye everyone.
Adios.
Bye.